Is that it? We're live. It was weird. I got in here and my StreamYard was already set up for me. Looked like maybe Stevie had came in and pre-organized it. In case y'all are trying to figure out what's different. Yes, I did shave my goatee off. Yes, I am letting it grow back. Huge mistake. But supposed to have some company here shortly. I hadn't talked to Kyle today. He called me earlier, but I try to put my phone to the side when I'm spending time with my grandson, so I can get to answer it. But I ain't heard from him since. And Javon will probably show up minutes late. Yeah, there he is, right there. What's up?
Hey, dude.
Hey, man.
How are you? You're all shaved up.
Yeah, I don't like it.
I like it. It's looking good.
I don't care for it.
Call you Stevie too. What's happening, everybody?
Not much. I'm glad you joined us, dude. I didn't have anything to talk about.
Man, I just came in here and you know where I've been. I fell asleep. Right, that was about 15 minutes till it was starting. I was all stoked up, and I looked up and then it was like 7:02. Fuck. These little micro naps have got to stop. I'm gonna have to go to a doctor.
Yeah.
They're just gonna tell me to go to bed at a regular time, and I just don't do that shit. I don't answer well to doctors, and B, I know I don't sleep during the night. It's just not my gig.
Well, yeah, and you're, all they're going to do is give you a prescription. You don't need another prescription.
No, and dude, I've got a prescription for Ambien, and I don't take them because if I take an Ambien at 12, I'll get loopy about 12:30. But if I'm not laying in bed ready to say, "Okay, John, it's time to go to sleep," it's not going to work. So I don't take them. It's just it's stupid. I've got to decide what I want to do. But I like the quietness of. I like being able to get, if I consider this work done at night. So who knows?
I got you. Dopey, you're crazy. You didn't see Dopey at the night show either? You didn't go back, did you?
I did not go back. I did my one walkthrough. I talked to Black Star, which I figured Dopey would be hanging out.
He bought one of the knives that was on your video.
Oh, did you really? You know, Dusty, I don't know if you've seen the thumbnail that I think fucking AI killed because they pulled the one knife out of it from Wilbur. Dustin Driver bought one of those knives. Dustin walked over to his booth, saw his stuff, and bought one of those little single daggers I was showing you that he either makes out of his own forged tip.
Are you talking about the one with the titanium handle?
Yes,
it's pretty badass.
Dude. They're ultra badass. I've seen one in person. I thought you saw it. I thought John showed it to you too when you were in there, you and Ryan, but maybe not. You'd remember it. But he also had that really big billet of titanium with the Alabama Damascus little spikes coming out. It was a big, what do you call it, a mace?
Yeah.
It was just a real bougie mace. But anyway, I was just stoked to see his stuff. I know I miss Dopey though, but once I went through, it was so much.
That was one thing we forgot. I was supposed to come up there and go, and I was supposed to meet Dopey to get his materials for his knife. And since I didn't go, that didn't happen. I forgot all about that part.
Well, there was a couple. I knew there was. I thought we covered a good bit of it. I've got you boxed up and ready to go. It'll go tomorrow. It's already labeled up. But I was trying to think what else you were going to bring something up for that giveaway, but I don't remember what it was. I've got bits and pieces of it. It doesn't really matter. It was a Tuesday night thing.
It matters to Neil.
Was Neil the one that won it?
Yeah,
Neil. Hold on a second. If Neil's in here, I haven't gone back and watched it, but brother who's looking out for everybody, Richard Hopkins, said the winner of the one I'm trying to find out was, hold on, Neil McKenzie. Is Neil McKenzie in here?
He will be if he's not right now.
Yeah, if y'all see Neil McKenzie, tell him to go watch the members give. I didn't do one today because I had my landlady lady up my ass. It was fine. It went fine, but she's impressed with my fucking house, dude. How well? I mean, except for the weeds, she wasn't real crazy about that. But I told her we could get a billy goat. We'll figure it out. Have to get one that can climb walls though. I wonder if they sell little mountain billy goats. I wonder if those things work the same way.
I don't know, dude.
If I get one that
I have any
eats
experience mountain climbing, yard landscaping, billy goat.
if I could have a little billy goat that would just climb the house and just be happy eating ivy,
Probably
I'd
shoot
get.
the siding off of it, John.
Well, that's true too. I don't know about how bad they are.
They're pretty
Anyway, that was fun. So that's why I didn't have a members giveaway. But last week I did, and I think Neil McKenzie won it. And I've got the knife. Usually I write it down like every week. I wrote down this is the channel giveaway, this is the knife, blah blah blah. Spun it, it went.
So Neil McKenzie won too?
Yes. Yes. Well, that was earlier. So I know I've got that one written down. So because again, I don't ever have things that creep up on me because I usually get them right out. So that was a
Excuse me.
bless you, dude, on your yawn. I always bless people on yawns because that's a close one.
Close to what?
When you yawn, man, that could be like checking out. You just never know. I don't want you checking out on me, especially when I'm on the stream with you. That was I've got it right here. Because that one I had to put everything together. That one, the Neil McKenzie was the winner of that. And
Yeah,
who did I say was the winner of according to Richard Hopkins? Because I haven't gone back and watched it. Neil McKenzie.
I haven't been able to
Yeah.
shoot Richard's knife either. At first, I was trying to get it lasered. My laser guy.
Knife, I've got that. Pen, I've got that.
My laser guy's not.
Prick. You were going to bring a prick, but
Yeah.
I've got a prick.
Yeah.
You
I
just
still
have to
got it
send
right
it.
here.
You can send it to me, and I'll just send my prick to him. Coin, patch, don't know what that is. Maglite. I'll figure it out.
Yeah, I've got the coin in the patch too.
Well, cool.
But my point was, I know Richard's here. I think I haven't been able to shoot Richard's knife either because I was waiting on my laser guy, and I don't know what's going on with him, but he's not been very dependable lately, and so I might have to come to Huntsville anyway. But that's beside the point.
Dude, if you come,
Richard decided.
don't
Richard
come on
decided
Thursday.
He wanted
Don't
it
come on
without-
Thursday.
I won't. He wanted it
Just
without-
remember that's when he's not there because
Let me
he can
finish.
go ahead.
But because of having to get that boot paid, I didn't have any money for shipping, but I got my check this weekend, so I can get Neil's or Richard's knife out to him and Neil's stuff off to you.
Neil's
Yeah.
stuff off. No, don't worry about Neil's stuff. I've got another Neil if once he'll send me his address because for him that he won. And then the other one, we're pulling it together. We've got almost everything together, but don't rush yourself to get that other.
Well, dude, it's only been like 3 weeks. I'm not rushing myself.
Well, it's
I'm gonna
not.
get it
It's not that. It's one of those things we said it was going to take a while.
Yeah.
I've got some stuff to review that I'm just not excited about. And this is a knife that used to excite me. Let me tell you something, guys.
So I've got
I will
just
get
because
those. I will
I
get those large yawns where I can assure you they're close ones. It's when they say it takes a lot to yawn, and yeah, it's amazing we get through them. Amen.
Okay. Well, I'm just
Yeah.
yawning because the grandson was here. And I actually was tired. Went to sleep at a decent hour last night. Woke up at a decent time today. So I should.
Guess
sleep.
what I ordered today?
What'd you order? Scales for that?
I did. I heard you got some scales in that you weren't super satisfied with.
No, I'm not. I don't think I'm going to put them on. And Kyle's been on me about sending them back.
I would.
And that dude just runs a little Etsy shop, they are what they were advertised. I mean, he didn't misadvertise them. I just expected more.
Right.
Now,
Well, again, and
but let me
that's
say this, John. If I had that knife with factory scales on it, I would put these on. But
because the pink would be driving you crazy.
the scales you had put on it are way nicer than what I bought. It would be dumb to swap them.
And a reason to not send them back is if you keep them in the box, you may want to put them on down the road, and you've got that option.
Yeah, I can always do that later.
Were you were asleep Friday night when I was playing with my little North Mountain blade and my detent ball came out? You can imagine the amount of shit I caught for that, for my detent ball. I'm never going to get that, blah, 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 which I thought is true. But I remembered that in every North Mountain blade, and Kaiser does it too, but I don't think Kaiser sends the pivot and the other guts. But in every North Mountain blade, which Kyle did slap me back in the face saying they're expecting it to happen, they send a complete hardware kit, dude. Bearings, pivots, everything you'd need to put that knife back together. Well, in there was another little, you know, how it's like a puzzle piece you pop off and it's got the ball pressed fit into it. It's like a little module thing that comes out.
Yeah.
I was able to fix it with very little effort on, you know, and I was thinking that's pretty cool. But you know, things like that can happen. Is it going to come out again? It may be a flaw in the design, but if that thinks the fact that they sent it out is pretty cool.
Well, there you have to remember with, and I'm not defending China here by any means, but if you run any parts on a CNC machine or just a press to drill that detent ball hole, as your tooling wears, you know, specs get off a little bit. It just happens. That could happen with a Hinder or a Chris Reeve. It could happen.
And they're acknowledging that they
fault
don't
them for that, but you know, the question is: was the ceramic detent ball made just a hair too small, or was the hole drill a hair too big? I don't know.
That's hard to find out because when I took it out and took it apart, of course the ball was gone. But it's hard to say, and it could be that I flicked it too hard. Who knows? We'll see. It's just a little knife, but the fact that they send out extra stuff makes you wonder. Hey, they don't have the. To me, it makes me think they don't have the infrastructure to service knives like an American company could. They're doing the next best thing.
Let me grab those scales. I want to show Jeffrey what I got.
Yeah.
So he was saying, man, I don't think I'd ever be able to trade these. These are kind of they're different. Hang on. I got it over here.
Wish I could reach my bulldog knife. I tried to press fit some blow dried Kydex maneuvering is what I would call it. We will see how it goes.
You did what now?
I got my blow dryer and I had a real bad Kaiser knife, the Bulldog. It's a really cool knife. It's behind me. I can't reach it, but I took it in the bathroom and I blow dry the shit out of it to get it good and what I felt like was squishy. Yeah. And then could tell where the retention point was and press fit it in there, and it seemed to make a lot better contact. We'll see if it held. Then what I did, I didn't have anything to clamp it with. I just stuck it over in the corner to let it cool. What do you do when you modify something with heat? Kydex, do you just hold it there for a while?
I've never modified any Kydex. I've made some, but yeah, you just press it and hold it. Let it, when it cools down, it'll stay wherever you had it. But this is the knife.
That's some damn good looking scales. Those are Rip's Garage Tech, I believe.
What is this thing called again? This Little Native?
That is the Little Native in Rex 45. No, not Rex 45. It's in a S45. Right. So it was the.
I saw this ad, and many of you guys saw it because I shared it. I grabbed the wrong one for these Strider style scales. If you remember the ad, you remember how beautiful, brilliant orange they were. And I'm assuming he photoshopped it because, as you can see, these look like the Rex 45, that very
Kind
flat,
of coyote.
burnt orange. I just don't. I like the shape, but I'm not a fan of the color. Now, what I may do, I may dye these and then I might use them. But as they
How's
are,
the quality? What's the inside of it look like? Does it look like you 3D printed them?
to to be honest, in my opinion, it does kinda. But he said this is rich lights. I don't know, man. They feel very plasticky.
But you know,
They
and
feel they
Rich
feel
Light
kind of
can
FRN.
feel. Yeah, Rich Light. I've got some on a Kaiser that feels very plastic. But if you like the scale, like you said, you got a couple of options there.
Yeah, the other thing I thought about was painting them flat black and then taking sandpaper and lightly going over it so just the peaks reappear in orange.
That'd
That
be a
might be
way to
something.
do it.
I don't know, but they're not as they are. They don't look near as good as these Rips Garage Tech.
How do the holes line up? Does it look like they can go on
Yeah,
fine?
but they'll go on good. They all line up pretty good.
Yeah, that's what I would check before I took it apart because that can be
I
a.
still can't. I still can. Like 1 out of 10 times, I can flick this knife.
I love that little knife.
It's too small. I don't know. I can't. I don't care that I can't. I bet I get it now. Yeah.
Bang.
I learned if I get my thumb all the way in the dip in that clip and really hold it like that,
It gives you enough
I can
finger.
get it. But it requires more thought and effort than my Manix does. But I don't care. I don't care. I don't give a shit about none of that no more, man. Just,
No, it's if you like the knife and how I carry knives in my front right pocket that I've started to carry. I'm going to make a video on it pretty soon that are fixed blades because they don't simply fit in my back pocket.
Brasher Beer, Bras here Beer, however you want us to say your name. I have no idea how it takes red dye. So I don't know, man. Like I said, at this point, if I try to dye them and it don't work, I'll just fucking spray paint them. I don't care. Because I do like that Strider look on that smaller knife. It makes it cool. I just don't like the color. I didn't even carry my Rex 121 Sage 5 for months, waiting until I got scale. I hated that color so bad I wouldn't even carry the knife.
And if you do some paint and some sanding combination, you might be able to get the combination of the feel where it doesn't feel like it's something you don't want to carry.
If you go back and you look at mine, well, I just pull it up right here. Hang on. If you guys remember, a bunch of y'all liked it. The picture I posted on Instagram, what I thought I was getting. Again, I'm not bad. Maybe there was a different, because he has several different material options. But when I asked him about the one in the picture, he said the picture is rich light. So I was like, well, then that's the one I want.
Yeah, you did what you should have done. He probably had a little post-production stuff going on.
Yeah, I've had a couple of knives touched up on the internet too, so but I don't know. It's not the same.
No, but it's a cool shape, and that's the one thing that you can modify the color around it if you so desire, right?
Right.
I can tell you that this little knife that I was so glad to get, it was $100 and I want to say $20 because I did not get a deal on it. I should have, but I didn't.
That's an excellent knife, dude.
It is an excellent knife, but
like small knives. That's.
But the FRN, even though it's bi-directional and it feels really good, it's done very well. Yeah. The titanium makes me love this little knife that much more. Yeah. So that makes me throw another 99 at it. So when I'm done, it's a $210
knife.
Yeah, $210 knife.
Yeah, that's as small as I think I'll ever go. This is a great fifth pocket knife. I like to carry this like when I carried my Cold Steel AD10 Tonto. I don't really like cutting small things with it because I don't have great control of my hands. And this I have a lot of control over, so I'll take this out to do little light jobs when I'm carrying a large knife.
That gives a good reason why you like a larger knife, because I've learned in This knife really made me understand it. This little Big Idea Design Company,
Yeah.
Lookout, well, not Lookout, the Overlook is a small little guy, but it's all I need. So I've learned that I can carry this knife. I can carry this knife if it had scales that I like carrying as a primary carry. And there's very few things that I'm going to run into in my urban EDC. Because keep in mind, I've got a small fixed blade in my back pocket, whatever it is, and I've got a slip joint in my left pocket. So I can get by, even though I like to have a lot of times a much bigger knife than I need with a smaller knife than I need, really, per se, if that makes any sense. I just stab myself in the ass with this
Mm.
fucking knife.
Are you
I do it
bleeding?
from time to time. Huh?
Are you bleeding?
My finger is. My ass isn't.
Well, let me tell you something, dude. I've had the biggest, probably the most excited I've been about anything knife related in a long time. Yeah, I told y'all, and whoever, I still don't know who it was. So whoever sent me this brand I can't read, thank you. And I don't want to piss Kyle off because I'm not promoting it. I don't have a code or anything.
You should promote it if you got
But
it and you like it.
the difference in going from my work sharp to this makes knife sharpening enjoyable.
I've got you plates.
It does.
Totally load up. Keep talking while I go get my
It does
fingers. My
so
fingers.
much of a better job. It's so much more comfortable. That 6-inch stone with that longer rod is just a much more natural. It's a more natural stroke than having to, been restricted to that little 4-inch stone. I don't ever want to touch that work sharp again. And again, if you're on a budget and don't buy the work sharp. God, I hate to say that, man. I think the work sharp US made. I know it's a US company. I don't know if they're made in America, but this is just so much better a tool. I mean, I hate it. I'm always going to promote US made stuff when I can, but this is a much better tool, and the TS Prof is a much better tool than this.
But if you're holding it and it's making your knife not jump around and you're able to get it sharp, that's what matters.
It's not just the stability because it's 10 times more stable. The clamp system is much better, but it's mostly for me, it's the range of motion and the ergonomics of using it are just so much better. But that's not what I've already had. That what got me super excited was a few weeks ago I reached out to Kyle before I even knew I was getting this. I actually bought a 6-inch stone holder for my work sharp. Haven't even used it. I wasted that money because this showed up. But I called Kyle and asked him, what stone I should get because I didn't have any 6-inch stones, and he told me he was going to send me some, which you have them there. But I wanted a reprofiling stone, and he told me to get the Poltava CBN. I think the only one they had on the side at the time was the 80 grit.
Correct.
Jesus Christ, man. So the first thing I did with it, I have a Thug that I sold locally, or got sold. I haven't delivered it yet. And
so you got your Poltava?
Huh?
Have you gotten your Poltava? Yes. Holy shit. You'll never know.
I had that Thug with no edge on it, 65 HRC crew wear. And literally within 2 passes with that Poltava, you could see the edge bevel. Like it appeared. And I'm telling you, if I tried that with the other stuff I had, it took me 15 minutes before I could even see that secondary bevel. That thing absolutely destroys steel. And once you set your bevel with it and then jump to I've got a 240.
Your other stones, well, that's your cutting stone, right? So
it makes all the other stones work so much faster and so much better. If you don't have a Poltava CBN coarse grit, you're missing out, man.
If you're reprofiling a lot of knives, you definitely want a knife, a blade, or a stone like that pole top. I mean, Kyle would not swear by it as much as, and he's done. What'd you say? Hundreds of knives on it, and
Oh
not
yeah.
seen any degradation of the
Well,
stone
now
itself.
he said, after a few knives, it don't feel as aggressive. He's like, and it'll kind of mess with your mind. But if you look at what it's doing, it's still doing the same amount of work. Literally, what he's talking about, it's just not as loud. You're not
Right.
hearing that.
And how much of that? I'm sure for him, he knows it's not him just getting used to the sound. It's an actual tactical thing.
But one
'Cause
thing
he-
I did have to purchase with this, I can't promote it because I don't know that, can't say the name. But I did have to purchase a. I'm just now opening it. I haven't taken it out of the box before. I did have to purchase an angle finder because there lines on that sharpening system. There's no numbers, so you have to have a digital angle finder to.
Now there are a couple of different things I learned about setting up an angle finder, depending on if it's your stone holder that's moving or if it's your base that's moving. So if it's the base that holds the knife that's adjusting different angles, you want to set your angle to pull a different read than if it's just the angle of the top. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, with this one, you have to put it. You have to put it on the knife blade, and then zero it, and then put it on the bar.
So you know what you gotcha.
Yeah.
You've got guidance. I didn't have guidance on mine.
Yeah, it tells you all that, and I was really shocked that it didn't come with one because these things don't cost much, or that they didn't like promote one along with it. But I just got one off Amazon, and this one actually has the lasers, so I can use it for more stuff than that. I can set it up on something.
So
The
set up
lasers,
your pictures, hang your pictures behind you,
right?
make them straight.
Yeah, it'll do
All
a
your
lot.
little cards that you pick up at your seedy night after night places, you can have them all behind you.
I don't have a CD after Nightlife anymore.
I'm kidding.
I sure don't.
I'm joking. I had a buddy in college that I'm not joking about. He works for, makes a ton of money. He does great. He doesn't go to the dead anymore because the dead's dead. But he had so many concert stubs that they went up one side of his wall about 2 feet wide, and then he had them when they went all the way across the ceiling, 2 feet wide, and then down the other side. It was like over 120 shows in a really cool way of showing them all. Took a lot of time.
RWP in here. I've known RWP for a while. He's not super active in the knife community or anything, but he's got some really impressive collection. And he was kind enough to loan me a knife to review. But he sent me a Dragonfly. I had he sent me the 20 CV with the red and I forget what they call that handle. It's like red and gray. But anyway, and when my daughter got old enough and I wanted her to have her own pocket knife, I gave her a Tenacious, and it literally fell apart within a year. It was in horrible shape. And she really wanted that knife. And she's been carrying that Dragonfly that RWP gave me for, I don't know, what, 3 or 4 years now?
Yeah, I mean, that's been a while.
Yeah, she loves that little Dragonfly. And she's got several knives, but that's the one she carries. Like she's got a Karambit she keeps in her car, and she's got every year she gets whatever knife I get at the Kaiser dinner, I bring home and give to her. But yeah,
she's got an 001. She's got a number 1.
Yeah, she's got a number 1.
My FRN Dragonfly was special to me because it was the first knife I bought when I got back into knives. And Tate sold it to me down at St. Nick's. That's where I bought it. Was our local knife store at the time, which is at the mall. The guy I work with now used to work there. But this little knife
sold me my Blurple PM2.
Yeah. He's a good kid. But this little knife was kind of a passion project because of how much I like that little knife. The shape of it is one thing, but the ergonomics is really a lot to be said for that knife. The
Johnson,
way,
ergonomics of the Dragonfly worked for me and my big hands.
yeah, I mean,
Surprisingly, I mean this little tiny thing here, man. This one does too. That's the little native, and I've got like a 4.5 inch fist. And look, it's a full 4 finger knife for me.
now the little native,
Dragonfly's not, but it's still the ergonomics are great when I hold it.
I don't have them side by side. I would imagine the Dragonfly is a good bit smaller. Maybe not a good bit, but about a half inch at least.
It's a really comfortable 3 finger knife for me.
Yeah. And it's not USA made, which the little native is, which makes it desirable in that case.
Right. Yep.
But my Dragonfly, I would have just kept as well. It's the first knife I bought when I got into the knife game, and it led me to all this stuff to a knife that I now carry as a primary knife in my right pocket, not as a fifth pocket carry because of those $99 scales. I wish somebody else made those scales. I reached out to a couple of scale people I know, and there's just not a big demand for people looking for Dragonfly scales, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Not that they're hard to make or anything like that. It's just like if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense.
You're exactly right. And you know
Todd,
like I said, I like carrying a little small, precise cutter, especially if I'm carrying a large knife. Now, I don't see a point in carrying this and my Mannix. They're not far enough, really.
no, because you've got your,
Yeah. Or if I've got a 8 or 9 inch fixed blade on me, I like the idea of having this in my fifth pocket. But I'm about to drop a fifth pocket fixie. I've got them. I've got them cut out, drilled. I've got to heat treat them and grind them. It's going to be something very different. I don't think it's going to appeal to everybody, but it's going to be a chisel ground. If you think of the shape, just think like the Cold Steel Work Tough. It's kind of that shape. It's kind of a half moon shaped knife. It's only about 4 inches long. Got about 1.5 inch blade, or the Tough Light, whatever work that thing.
Tough Light.
Tough Light.
Yep.
Yeah, that Cold Steel. But I'm going to do it in a chisel grind. I don't want to keep on because if I try to explain it, it doesn't sound like a great idea until you see it. So I'm excited about that.
That'll be very cool.
You got some mods back on your Mannix?
Can you see that stopper being gold?
Yeah.
Remember how it didn't really look like much. It was just kind of purple, kind of blended in. That's gold on my cage. He left my clip alone, which is fine. I wouldn't have minded either way, but he cleaned it up and he polished my washers. And dude, it is a different knife altogether.
There's not a Riot on the planet that has better action than that.
No. I mean, it's so
smooth. These guys talking about these $400 Riots. It's because of the action, the precision machine, and the action so perfect. It's not better than a well adjusted Mannix.
He's got to put some. Yeah, I'm sure he put some good time, and he knew what he was doing into it. But yeah, it's there's no knife that carries the precision through like it's a washer knife. You know, that's what's so amazing about it. And it cuts. I mean, he's got an edge on it, dude. Look at it.
Yeah. Well, two things are happening there. Certain reviewers are lying to you, and we're lying to ourselves. And we've been doing it for years. But if it makes you happy, that's all that matters.
Absolutely.
But they're not better.
No, and you shouldn't. Out of a box, people want things to work a certain way. And I've had Mannixes out of the box that I had to mod it before I really liked it and carried it.
I had to change that spring because it's so. And that's keep in mind, I have nerve damage in my hands, so
for you it was more
not even be necessary.
Right.
for
And
me, it's a little necessary.
For me, I wouldn't have noticed how much better it could be because it was fine for what I used it for. And I was used to it being, it's this sad to say, but a USA made Spyderco. I wasn't expecting it to be better. I didn't expect that it could be that much better.
I don't
Um,
know that the ceramic ball makes that much difference. Like literally, all I buy is the spring. I just buy the lightweight spring. I don't buy the ceramic ball anymore. I don't. I don't know. I can't tell a difference. And if you understand the way that lock works, I don't know how it could make any difference.
no, and I think I bought it because it was the way it was offered at the time, maybe.
Right.
And I don't remember, depending on how the ball came out, if I swapped the ball out or not. If it
Yeah.
was something where I lost the ball, I swapped it out. If not, I didn't fool with
My
it.
15V Mannix, I put titanium on it. So that was a titanium ball lock knife, which is stronger and more reliable than a frame lock. It was better than any titanium frame lock ever made. And I had $300 in it between the knife, the scales, and the ball lock upgrade kit. I had right at $300 in it, and that was I got rid of it because I'm still not a fan until I experience some 15V that I like. It's not for me.
I did a video earlier today that I wasn't paying much attention to, but it's because I got that Unizon. It was a Trinity or whatever you call it. The Holy Trinity of knives, and if that even matters anymore, if that's even up to date anymore, because I pulled
Well,
out.
a lot of people want to exclude Hinder. They want to exclude Strider.
Well, I didn't
It
bring
is
them
what
into
it
it,
is.
but I did bring in like the Mannix, this knife, my under $300 Trinity, which I think is absolutely golden, is my bigger Trinity, if you want to call it that. And then I looked at, it's going to piss people off, but I think there is at least in my mind, imported Trinity.
Hang on a second, Bugsy. That wasn't your Mannix I ended up with, was it? Did you sell yours to Steve? Because I got mine from Steve, and he got it from somebody who said they sold it because to them the 15V didn't feel sharp. What they meant was it's not very bitey. It gets kind of slick. And then Steve sold it to me because he didn't like it because it didn't feel sharp, even though
Hey,
it'll shoot
Brad,
here,
what's
it
up?
doesn't feel sharp. And then I sold it to OCD for EDC, and he sold it to somebody else in the community. And I got rid of it because it didn't feel sharp. That'd be really funny if that's what happened to your knife.
Nemo's dropping some facts on the ceramic ball.
I don't. It may Mimo, but I think with the lighter spring, uh, okay, it wasn't the same knife. With the lighter spring, maybe I just can't tell the difference. Yeah, the XL is nice. I've got a couple of XLs. I've got them in. They're actually at Meatheads in the safe with some of
The
them.
Mannix XL.
Yeah, yeah. I've got some stuff over there that I want to make sure is nothing can happen to and is around after I'm gone, so Cam Man can get his hands on it.
I got you.
Yeah, I like. Yeah, I don't keep all my pews here, but speaking of pews, uh, I'm not a doomsayer, but now's as good a time as any. If you're not a carrier, if you own a gun and you don't carry, uh, now's as good a time as any to start because
No
we
shit.
are clearly not just our military. That was proven last night. It's just not our military at war. What was it? 17 people shot in Austin,
In Austin, Texas, by a guy driving around in a like
with an Iranian
utility
T-shirt
vehicle.
on and a Prophet of Allah sweatshirt on over it and a Quran in the front
I
seat.
didn't see that, but I just know that the armed people should have been able to stop him before the police got there,
Luckily, the police were there within 57 seconds.
which is
So
unheard of.
that's
But
incredible. Well, they were just down the street because it was it was the bar district. But yeah, if you're not carrying, man, now's the time to start because it could be a grocery store, and regardless of what you think of the immigration process and what they're doing right now, I don't agree with all of it. I think it could have been done better. I'm not going to get into that, but we let we didn't. The former administration let everybody in this country. There could easily be tens of thousands of those people waiting for their turn to hurt people. So take care of yourselves, take care of your family, and if you carry that thing and you get a blister on your fat roll and you die one of these days and you never had to use it, that means you lived a good life.
Yes, sir.
Don't be caught where you could have saved yourself or someone else or your family members' lives and not be prepared for that situation. That's all I'm saying. I hate it, man. I've got a little fat roll, even though I'm lighter than you guys have ever known me. It's still the hammer rubs a blister into my little fat roll on my side. I can't find a way around it, but I tolerate it because
Well, being a little guy, I've got to wear it where my mom says it's the worst place because they say I shoot my pecker off, but I know it won't shoot me. But I've got to wear it right inside to the right of my belt buckle, or it won't. It won't
I can't carry
press.
it.
I know it won't press there. It won't press anywhere
And
else.
I
So
don't care about printing. I don't care about any of that shit.
I want it to be comfortable though.
I don't like to open carry just because I don't want people to know I'm carrying. And I go in a lot of places that have that stupid ass sign. So I like to stay concealed, but I'm less worried about that than I am having it on me. If you got to carry it in a fucking fanny pack, by all means,
Try to have one on you.
take care of yourself. Yeah. Yeah. If that thing's collecting dust and you're not super familiar with it, spend $20, buy some blazer, go refamiliarize yourself with it. And hopefully you never need it. That's the goal, is to never ever need it.
Absolutely. But know that if you did, you're not just carrying something that feels it should be part of your EDC. You should feel comfortable with it.
Yeah.
Using it, knowing when to use it.
Women
Hopefully
really have
never.
women really have the they have an advantage. Like they can carry everywhere they go and not have to worry about that. You can buy those purses that has that little pouch on the back of it.
Yep.
You slide it into. You can shoot through the purse. You know, yeah. Everybody should be carrying these days and times, man. You just don't know, because we're all sitting here thinking that what are the odds that shit happened? All 17 of them people in Austin, Texas, thought the same thing. Till a guy with property of Allah walked into a bar and unloaded on them. So
Yeah, no shit. Looking for soft targets. That's what makes me sick.
yeah, remember, I agree, man. The whole situation is screwed up, and I caught some slack. First of all, guys, if you for a second think you know what my beliefs are by my Instagram memes, you're ignorant. I post anything I think's funny, or anything I think's edgy. Sometimes it doesn't necessarily mean it's what I believe, but
You're looking for a
I made the
reaction.
mistake of talking about that a little bit, and some people got the wrong impression. And I'm still in conversations with some of them, trying to tell them how I feel about it. But Nemo, you're completely right. You can't you can't just open the borders and let 11 million people in, and you don't have enough hospitals, school, housing, social programs, all that stuff for them. But since all this has gone down, and I've caught some slack for what people think I believe, I've reached out to some legal immigrants right here within a 3 or 4 county area that I know. Good people that have been here since they were toddlers. They got a social security number. They've got a foreign driver's license. They do everything right. They work their asses off. They are the reasons the businesses that they work for are successful. And there's no doubt about that. They're the best of us.
Yes.
I talk to them. I'm like, well, why? How do you feel about it? And they're like, I get it. Nobody wants to live in that situation. So they want a better life. They said, but at the same time, I can't get a court date to have my citizenship approved because the courts are so full. The dockets are so full of illegal immigrants ahead of me. This guy's been waiting 24 years, John. He's been doing everything the right way with an immigration lawyer. 24 years.
to try to get his papers.
They hasn't been doing it the whole 24. He's been here 24 years. He's been doing it for years and years. And like he said, I can't get in front of a judge because there's so many illegals coming in that they're too busy processing them, because they still go to court, and the judge is like, yes, deport them. And so that's another thing too. We want to blame everything on the federal government all the way up to the POTUS. But you have to remember, dude, there's still local judges making decisions. There's still each individual ICE officer is deciding how he acts and how he treats people.
Correct. It's not being at
no point did the federal government say we're going to trample on people's rights and kill people for no reason and deport legal immigrants. That was never what they called for. Or is it happening? Sure it is, because these are people who are carrying out these orders, and some of them aren't doing a very good job of it. Just like some cops don't do a very good job of handling their authority. Some doctors don't do a very good job of putting your health ahead of profit. Some carpenters don't do a very, very good job of building houses because they can get it up quicker and make more money. Every trade is guilty of it.
It's going to have corruption that seeps in no matter how well it's laid out.
Right.
And you can't police all of it with one fell swoop. I mean, there's so much even more crazy shit than that going on in the world right now. It's crazy to even think of. I mean, with all this Iran stuff or whatever you want to call it, there's going to be, if you think there's not going to be, like Shane said, more of this homegrown shit going on.
No, it hasn't stopped happening. It was happening before 9/11. It's happened since. It's never stopped happening. It's always happening. And we don't hear about all the ones that get stopped. They're never going to stop. It's never going to be over. And I don't know what the answer is. And I'm not saying I agree with, look, I don't know what the end game for attacking Iran is. Can you write down a long enough list of evil shit that guy's done that says he deserves it? Sure you can. Are we going to try to set up a government that's going to fail and some terrorist organization is probably going to take the country over? Probably, because we have a track record of that.
Yeah, that's unfortunately the way it happens.
We've never been good at it. None of it makes any sense.
Yeah, it's but we're here to try to make sense of it and at least talk about it and try to realize that there are people in the chat that feel polarized differences to it, but understand that it's just chaos is what it is, and it's meant to drive people apart.
Yeah.
It's a diversion. I agree, Kathleen.
It's all a diversion. They figured out a long time ago that if they all get us chasing, a long time ago, they figured out if they can get us chasing the American dream, the rich can get stupid wealthy. That's why, everybody used to want that little house with the white picket fence and a wife and 3 kids and 2 cars. And as long as they got super wealthy, but it got to a point where that wasn't enough. And there is so much profit and so much money to be made now in division that's all of it is a diversion. Everything is. None of people give shits about you and I. Nobody's coming to help you. And Mimo, it's not just in your country, buddy. I went to the doctor the other day to finally get fitted for my brace, and they gave me a temporary brace, and I was tickled to death about it. And then it hit me: why have I not had one for 5 fucking months? Why didn't I have this 5 months ago? Why have I been stuck in bed over this piece of equipment they could have given me?
Debilitating situation that you're trying to prevent.
Could somebody seeking asylum walked into a doctor's office and walked out with this thing the same day? Probably. But I'm stuck dealing with affirmative hires at the VA making decisions about my health care. And that's the way it is. But yeah, we got to get over this. These guys, especially people in the knife community, it really agitates me making these videos. F this group, F that group, F you if you believe this, F you if you believe that. They are the sheep. That is exactly what they're trying to create. And all these guys want to act like they're anti-government, but they're playing the exact role that they want them to play.
Silence the detractor.
Yeah. I don't know what you're talking about, Lakeside, but I'd be glad to talk to you about it. Extra it's going beyond ineptitude. Some of this shit. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Bogey. There's some pure fucking evil in this world. You know, when you look at the money that Bill Gates made off of COVID, and it's scary as shit, dude, to know that people can get that wealthy off of our suffering,
and that power can turn so many heads the other way.
Yeah. Yeah. And I know some of y'all come into knife live streams because you don't want to concentrate on this shit, and I apologize for bringing it up. And I knew somebody would disagree with me, and apparently Lakeside does. Either he disagrees with me or he's saying it's some bullshit that I didn't get to brace. Either way, you're probably right. Even if you're not agreeing with me, I'm sure there's stuff I've said in the past that somebody thinks is bullshit.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of bullshit out there that none of us even admit.
It just hit me though, Lakeside, that you were probably saying it was bullshit that it took me this long to get it. You're right. I appreciate that. But yeah. And the bad thing is, guys, we handed them the tool to have more control over our emotions, our spending, every aspect of our life. They created it, but we fell into it. And thank you, Lakeside. And we feed into it every day. You know, I feed into it too. You know, when I post a meme that I think's funny or I think is, on the edge of being whatever, but we all do it, but
yeah.
At the end of the day, I don't get my feelings hurt, and I don't decide to start hating any of y'all from what I think you believe.
No,
I made a post on Facebook recently because a lot of my friends are they're more conservative than I am, and they're all.
I don't think of you as a conservative. I mean, I know you.
When it comes to certain things, I'm a.
I know but you're more like I am
when it comes to the Constitution. But I posted a thing complaining, and it really was a test. But I posted a thing complaining about when this new administration said that they were going to round up all the dangerous illegal aliens and get them out of the country. Hey, I'm for that. But at the same time, he also said that he was going to streamline the immigration process for the law-abiding good people. And that hasn't happened. And I'm pissed about that. Why hasn't it? Because he's not the first. Every president that I can remember since at least Clinton all made that same promise, and nobody's ever done it. Why aren't we making it achievable for good people with good ethics, doing things the right way? We can't bring back manufacturing to the United States without those people. We just can't. If it all came back tomorrow, those companies would fold in the first year because they don't have enough employees.
Nobody would run them. Yeah,
I mean, we need good people. I can't go do it. John, you're not going to go stand.
No, I'm not. I'm too old to do that.
Right. We need those people. But if you've committed violent crimes or scams or whatever, and you're not supposed to be here in the first place, hasta. See ya. You shouldn't be here. I can't go to Mexico and break the law and expect to be treated with the same rights that I have in my home country. You can't go to
and if you break those laws, if you break those laws here, they're going to come get you.
Right. I mean, look at how. I don't know. I remember when I was a kid, it was hard. It was difficult. It was somewhat difficult for an American to even visit Canada. And from what I understand, it still can be. But yet, if you're from a different country, they just march in or fly in, ship in, whatever, by the thousands, and are just immediately assimilated and given health care and this and that. And I don't know, man. I don't know what the answer is.
it's above our pay grade, as sad as that is to say. And I don't think it's a pay grade necessarily. I think we're not supposed to know what's really going on. I think it's all supposed to look over there, you know, pay attention to the things that matter, which
Yeah.
the big things matter, but I don't think the people that be want us to know that.
Yeah. Drizzy, you're right. And we've already taken their sport away from them. We've already beat them at that. And we got teams in Florida where there is no fucking ice that beat them in ice hockey sometimes. So I'm just kidding. I love all my Canadian buddies. I've got a bunch of them. Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy times right now. That's just my whole point. My mom called me today. I wasn't even paying attention to it, and she's like, "Did you know?" Blah blah. I was like, "No, I don't pay attention to
Well,
that."
see, even if you are an atheist, if you read something like Ephesians 6:12 and it strikes a chord in you and you feel like it's the truth, you don't have to be a Bible thumping Christian to know the truth when you read it, especially
Exactly.
now. Yeah.
Yeah, you look for wisdom wherever the wisdom looks to not be polluted with agenda.
And Lakeside, you're 100% right. We can't fix it, but if we spent more time concerning ourselves with the 6 foot circle directly around our body, and that's once we got it in line and we got it the way we want it, and things going the way it's supposed to, we expanded that to 12 feet and 18. If we spent more time concentrating on that than we did arguing about some people that we have no control of, and to be honest, people who have a very minimal effect on our lives to begin with. Our lives, I'm saying, not
Yeah.
everybody's, but you know, uh, I know people who were born and raised in California will tell you, other than the price of some things, their lifestyle really hasn't changed. Like
It's a
nothing's changed.
beautiful place to be.
It's a beautiful place. Yeah, things cost more, but they make more. It's worth it in the end. Now, could they go 2 blocks away and that situation be different? Absolutely. But that's most anywhere. In Alabama, we're lucky. We've only got what 3 or 4 big cities, and even those big cities, it's not the whole city. It's just certain little areas of them that are Democrat ran, and the laws aren't upheld, and people run wild and do whatever the fuck they want to do with no repercussions. But it's not the whole city. It's not the whole state. Just like it's not.
No, I think the state has a lot to do with some of that. I don't know how it all works, but Alabama seems to be a
My
little bit.
heroes are these guys that you see going to the local board of education meetings or the local city council meetings and standing up for their kids and raising hell until something gets done. That's the kind of thing that affects you and the way you live and your community the most. And that's what we should be more concentrated on. Because as long as we keep our focus on uh,
Things we can't
these,
control,
these
big things.
billionaires in Washington, D.C., it just gives us something to argue about.
Yeah, and there's so many local action groups, local needs where you can become involved, and you're gonna make a greater change, I think, down the road being plugged into
Yeah.
those
Because
local.
whether we want to admit it, man, we all love hateful shit. We love it. Most watched video to this day is the one titled F. Rick Ender. People love hate. This grabs their attention quicker than anything does. And I remember back when Wounded Warrior Foundation came under fire because of this $500,000 party they threw. They spent $500,000 throwing a donors party. And everybody was just up in arms, man. I knew it was a scam. Don't donate your money to them. They did throw a $500,000 dinner. That's indeed true. And they raised $7 million to help veterans with it.
Right.
That's how charitable organizations work. That's how you have to throw these big extravagant parties to get these rich people to
silent auctions and all kinds of
and
stuff
see,
that comes
and,
with it.
right, so they can come and see if they can out donate. That's the way all that works. But there's still people to this day that think Wounded Warrior Foundation's a scam, regardless of the thousands of wounded vets that you can interview and how they've helped their lives. All they care about is they threw this expensive party. Yeah.
Yeah, you got
I
to.
get that, and as a since I've been labeled a Republican and a conservative, I should disagree with you, but I don't. But I agree with you about the weed for a different reason. I don't want weed legalized so that I can enjoy it whenever I want to. I don't want weed legalized because I think it does affect some people's lives negatively. Some people can do it and some people can't. I want weed legalized because I think the fact that for the past several decades, we've spent billions of dollars sending a lot of times teenage or tweens to prison over a handful of flour. We spend all that money putting them there, and then we have to spend the rest of their lives and their children's lives helping them through social programs because now they can't get a decent job. That's just stupid.
Crazy. It's
Just the
self-fulfilling.
money. If you just look at it from the economic side, we lost the war on drugs a long time ago. We have spent trillions of dollars and accomplished nothing. Now,
Whoa.
do I think we should do it like Seattle did, legalize everything? No. But I've never seen anybody smoke enough weed that they just passed out, started foaming at the mouth, and died. But I have with opiates. So
Yeah, and you want to, again, if people would just foam at the mouth and die, maybe I'm not compassionate enough, but it rips cities apart from the inside, and I don't think weed does. And it's
it does for some.
the prison system is geared against law-abiding citizens and people that break the law, because you can find yourself a law-abiding citizen and be in that system with ramifications that'll affect your life forever, with little or sometimes no impulse put on your. You could be in the wrong place at the wrong time. That's all I'm saying.
Right. Hey, man, I've been in situations where I realized that I was armed. Or, as a matter of fact, I was at the VA physical therapy the other day, and they refused to let me leave without a walker. I was like, I'm not using that, and it doesn't matter. We have to give it to you. You have to take it. You can throw it in the dumpster when you get outside, but we have to give it to you. Okay. He said, "Do you want tennis balls on it?" I was like, "Sure. Why not?"
Get it doped up.
He went and got the tennis balls, and he comes back with them, and I had this knife on me. This little thing right here. And I said, "Do you want to use my knife or do you want me to cut the tennis balls?" And his exact words were, "I'm going to pretend you didn't say that because I'm not supposed to know you have a knife. At the VA hospital, that's considered a weapon. You can't have that. So I'm going to act like you didn't say it."
Oh my
My
God.
point is, he could have easily walked out that 6 feet. There was a door. He could have walked out that door and made a right. There was a VA policeman standing right there. He could have easily walked out there and said something, and that guy would have cuffed me, taken me to the little VA holding cell, and Birmingham police would have come pick me up.
You would have eventually been a criminal in that.
And I would have been a criminal. Did I have criminal intent? Was I a danger to anyone? No. I just forgot I had this little tiny ass pocket knife in my pocket. So yeah, it's easy for it to happen. And I've heard cops, brag about it and talk about it and be like, "Man, if you get in trouble, just do your fucking time." Because the last thing you want to do is cooperate. Because if you cooperate, they will hold that shit over your head for years and years. They will never let you free. And eventually somebody's gonna hurt you or kill you for the things that they ask you to do and say. It's like you're just better off just take whatever plea deal you can get, do your time, and move on.
That's just scary on a whole nother level.
It is.
And we're the ones that can talk about it.
Yeah. But it can happen to any of us. There's
Yeah.
probably not a knife guy in this group who hasn't been somewhere at some point in time that if somebody reported you to the wrong cop for having a knife, you could have been handcuffed. Now, what would have happened after that, I don't know. But it's what do you do? Do I want the police keeping us safe? Well, absolutely, I do. You know, there's no perfect world. We pissed all that.
No, that's the whole thing, though.
We
But
pissed
you
that
look
away
at
a long time ago.
but you look at what is the intent of this situation that whoever's diffusing it is diffusing. There's got to be room for intent to be part of that conversation, or at least that judgment, in my opinion.
Yeah. You know, and what's weird is we've gotten so caught up
Yeah.
in making money, and we've gotten so caught up in, after making money, we've gotten caught up in our online presence and what people think of us online, that we're no longer doing the job that we used to do of raising our children and educating them and informing them of how to get through life. I told a story here a while back. I'm not going to tell it again. And I was shocked at how this girl knew. And the other day I mentioned about the fact that her weed is so strong that I can smell it across the yard through the house. And I was like, if you get pulled over, they can smell that and they're going to search your car. And her exact words were, as long as it's locked in my glove box, they can't look. And then it hit me. I let this child drive for 5 years thinking that. For 5 years, she thought she was safe because it was locked in her glove box. And she still don't believe me when I told her that that's not the case. She's like, no, they can't open a locked glove box without a... Okay. But just so you know, I don't have the money to bail you out, sweetie.
No, and ignorance is not a defense, unfortunately.
But what the question you have to ask yourself, John, is who's telling these people this? When you watch all these YouTube videos of these young people getting pulled over and they're like, I know my rights, I want a supervisor. They're spitting out all this shit that they think is going to work. And at the end of the day, they get fucking tased or bit by a dog or pepper sprayed, thrown on their face on the pavement.
Hopefully not shot.
And hit with at least 4 charges over a traffic stop.
But they would have gotten only the basic.
Why do so many of them believe that what they're saying or doing is going to get them out of it? Somebody's
because they think that the officer and the whole system is corrupt against them. I don't know why it seems to be carrying women.
Even if you think that.
I know. I don't know.
Why would you do something to make it worse? What I'm telling you,
yourself.
I don't know if it's on TikTok. I don't know where it's at. I'm just saying.
It's a mental illness, dude, is where it's at, unfortunately.
Somebody is teaching these people that they don't have that authority when they do. And that's why so many people are getting in trouble. Dude, I watch hours of it every week of idiots.
Of people making bad decisions where they turn a situation
on the window of their car and getting
just because they turn it to go bad. I've seen it too. I don't watch it all the time, but I've seen where people watch that content just to watch it go bad.
Right.
They call it Balmert Can't Save Her. Balmert's this guy who's a chatter in one of these groups, and he's like a womanizer, and the bit is Balmert Can't Save Her, and they show the worst of the worst. People that start out, I didn't do that. They come out of a coffee shop. They're dressed really nice. I did not do that, blah, blah, blah. Next thing you know, they're on the ground. They're facing all these charges. It's just bad.
Yeah. You understand? I know my rights. And the shit
exactly
is complete fucking garbage. I just wonder, I'm just really curious where it comes from.
It seems like in the ones I see, they always push or strike a police officer. The police officer is not looking for a situation to escalate.
You can't touch that.
If a police officer, you're right.
If you poke him with your finger, that's assault on a law enforcement.
And just like that guy not going out and getting that guy that was 5 feet away from you, if you're sitting there giving a guy a bunch of lip, they're going to look for reasons for when you step out of line to say, okay, you fucked up there. You
Yeah.
fucked it there. I wouldn't have paid attention to it before, but since you're making such a big scene of it, it's almost like karma delivers. The
Right.
universe provides. What's up, D Metal?
Yeah. Uh, like I said, I'm just curious where all this information is coming from because people are getting hurt, killed. I'm sure that chick that took off, I don't know if I should talk about it, her car, I'm sure she'd never thought they would open fire on her. When she hit that dude, you could hear the breath come out of him. But I guarantee you, she never thought she was at risk of being shot.
No, I wouldn't think.
She wouldn't have done it if she knew that was an option. But that's my point. Had she been better educated and told how to interact with people in authority, maybe
not necessarily. My point's not necessarily, and I'll tell you why when I go get my white peach Red Bull.
Yeah.
This is cherry, by the way, a new spring flavor. I highly recommend it.
Yeah, you're right, Bugsy. You are certainly right there. But I don't know where it ends. I don't know how we back up. But I tell people all the time, man, talk to your kids, ask them questions, grandkids, nieces, nephews, whatever. See what it is they think and believe. You're not going to change what their feelings about things, but you need to make sure that they know how to keep themselves safe.
Have those conversations because my comeback was a lot of these people think that they can change. They can make a change. They're being indoctrinated into if enough of you do this, you're going to make them impotent where they can't.
But John, a lot of the stuff they're doing are the same things that have been done throughout history to exact change.
I know.
Like, dude, I'm all for it. Get 50,000 people to march up to City Hall and hold up signs and tell them what you think. Hold those people that you elected accountable. But you can't hit somebody with a fucking bicycle chain because they're holding up a different sign than you.
No, I agree. And I think anybody that's logical will agree with that. ENG.
No, they don't.
What is up?
A lot of the population don't agree with that.
They think I mean, who doesn't think that you should
hold an American flag?
Once I get hit with something, all bets are off. I'm reaching in my waist.
Have y'all asked yourselves this? How did all those people in these big cities obtain Iranian flags overnight?
I don't watch the news, so
they're out in the streets, hundreds of them.
I'm sure they are. But
where'd they get those flags, dude? Where you
reckon?
I've talked to cops, that have watched these people be bust in. I've talked to them, that see these Isuzu NPRs and the back of them open up and them handing them all their gear. Who paid for all that?
Was Ian.
Who paid for all that shit? Somebody with money is adding fuel to this bullshit.
Well, we know who if you look at the money, I mean, the money's one thing that in all of these different, and I don't watch the videos, but I've watched Tucker Carlson's face on a video that I don't even think he's in. I think it's AI. And it says, if you want to know what's getting ready to happen, follow the money. And I don't ever watch it, but allegedly the money tells the story long before the shit hits the fan. I don't know how or why that is because I don't understand upper finance.
To me, it's free swag, Drew. Yeah, it's no different. People try to downplay like that wasn't real, dude. I saw the video. This was before AI was big of those trucks pulling up and setting those pallets of broken bricks on the street corners a few years ago.
And that was before AI could let that shit happen.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
we could. There's no doubt we could. They don't, because even the political party that opposes that to be a superhero, you have to have a villain. And so the more evil and destructive they allow their villain to be, the better they look when they stop it or shut it down.
Speaking of, have you seen the new Jim Carrey video where he comes out and got an award overseas?
Spoken French.
Well, dude, it ain't the same Jim Carrey. And all over Twitter, they're saying Jim Carrey's no longer with us. This is his clone. And I don't know if you remember Jim Carrey always being kind of out there about Illuminati, secret societies.
I don't align with Jim Carrey's political views, but I do align with his thoughts on the rich and evil of Hollywood. And
right. This is just, I want you just to see if this guy looks like a clone to you. Hold on. I don't want.
Well, John, I ain't seen him so long. He could have had surgery or Botox. I wouldn't know.
Well, he has surgery and Botox. That's a given. And his eye colors could be different. Go seek it out. Don't watch it now, but go look at the conspiracy about Jim Carrey, because the reason he even says he's dead. Hold on. He even says earlier in one of his things that I'm dead. This is not me that you're seeing, you know. And when he does this little thing about the speech, his mannerisms are totally different. His eye color's different. He's praising everything around him. It's just creepy, man, that whoever they are, can manipulate us, people who watch actors, and not know what the fuck's going on. I mean, we saw that lady get off her, what was her, Anne Hesh, get off of a gurney going to an ambulance. Y'all remember that?
I remember that.
Yeah, I mean, nobody talked about that footage after that. It's scary.
You don't want to seem stupid. What if you talk about it and then it's later proven to be fake, and then you look like an idiot, so nobody says anything? That's just not, the big thing right now is the Epstein files. We all want to know what's in it. We want to know who's in there. You know what? Fuck y'all. Because Corey Feldman told y'all 25 years ago this shit was happening. He gave the police a list of names and nobody cared.
Because he went and sang about that shit. He's a terrible musician.
He's a terrible musician.
Yeah. So if he'd have fucking left it on the facts and said, "I'm gonna,"
Corey, people have been accusing these people for years and years of all this shit, and nobody cared.
But I think Shane. I think
now because they're hoping they can use it against whichever politician it is.
But I think what we all thought Corey was talking about was a totally different level of what I think we all realize now it is. We thought it was people selling their souls. There's this who's the black guy that was with 60 Minutes who is such a good interviewer, had a gray wispy beard, but he was a 60-minute interviewer. He's interviewing Bob Dylan. You can watch it on YouTube. And they go, "Why are you still," to Bob Dylan, "why are you still making music today? Why are you still writing today?" He goes, "Because I entered into a contract." You've seen that, right?
Yeah.
So we all thought that musicians, actors might have some little bullshit that they were doing. Didn't realize that it all went to the same place, that billionaires and people that control the globe that we all spin on are all part of it too. That's where it gets scary. Because you believe that it is an actual force. It's not just people trying to get somebody to do whatever their bidding is.
Yeah. And Kathleen, even if we did find out what's in it, nothing's going to happen. If they sacrifice one person, or let's say they sacrifice 4 or 5 people when all this is said and done, it's because they wanted rid of those people anyway. We're never going to know the whole truth, and nothing's ever really going to happen. Look, they put Ghislaine Maxwell in prison for trafficking. Trafficking requires a couple of things. There has to be a product. It has to be shipped from point A to point B, and there has to be someone to receive that product. Well, they know what the product was. They know that they were shipped. But if there's nobody to receive those things, she didn't traffic shit. How is she in prison for trafficking and not a single name mentioned of who she supplied the product to?
I mean, it's a whole wash that's going on that people are just like, well, she's a trafficker. No, she.
For all we know, she bought them all for herself because apparently there was nobody to purchase any of it. She didn't supply anything to anybody.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy stuff. And what's scary is it's such big news that so much bigger news is used to wag ourselves away from it. For a while, it was Guthrie. Whatever happened to her? Rest in peace.
Whatever happened to who?
The Guthrie mom who was kidnapped. That was covering all the stories.
She is, right?
What?
You know who that one?
Yeah.
Her
daughter Guthrie. Yeah,
her daughter's the one that was covering the Epstein way back a long time ago.
Right.
And all of a sudden, her mom gets snatched up.
So
you understand also that Anthony Bourdain and Chester Bennington were working on a documentary to expose.
And
both of them killed themselves.
And you're leaving out one very important one.
Was Chris Cornell?
Yes, he was involved. He was the one that headed it all. He and Anthony. Yeah, there's a lot more there. Neither one of those two men ended their lives, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't believe it either.
And people,
I know that sounds very conspiratorial. Call it whatever you want, but man, Alex Jones has been talking about conspiracies his entire career, and he was wrong once.
Cost him a lot, but yeah.
Well, and let me tell you though, I believed him. Let me tell you why I believed him, because I watched the same live footage he did.
Yeah.
And from a guy that was sitting at home watching it happen live on television, everything he said was 100% correct. Now, was it the truth? I don't know, but he saw the same thing I did. I understand why he believed what he. I watched that helicopter fly over that tree line, following that man in the woods with the gun. Who the fuck was that? And then later that day, it didn't exist. It didn't happen. I watched it. You were live. I watched it. Like, you could see him from the helicopter, from the camera.
Yeah, they're showing him.
I watched them take that AR out of the trunk of that kid's car. That's where he'd been since he pulled up, if he existed at all. But I watched them take the AR out of the trunk, and then they claimed that was the long gun he used. None of it made sense. So I give him a pass. You know, he was fed a story that was full of lies, so why would he believe any of it?
And I don't ever take his side on anything, but if you've been your whole life, you've seen the unraveling of truths that people are fed, and you know that the other side is often the truth. Yeah. You get cynical.
You absolutely do. It gets hard to believe anything. You know, I had a conversation with my wife several years ago. We were talking about the Waco incident, and she was like, "Well, he was sleeping with those little girls." I'm like, what makes you think that? Like, well, I saw that interview with that woman that had escaped from there before the siege happened, and she said he was sleeping with all those little girls. How hard is it? How hard is it to get somebody to sit down and record an interview and say whatever the fuck you want them to say? We don't know that. They didn't raid that place because he was sleeping with little girls. They raided that place because he had constitutionally legal firearms, and they didn't like it. And then when it went bad and it was on television every night, then well, this guy's been sleeping with children. We don't know that.
Yeah, it's
we saw one woman. She could have been a fucking CIA employee for all we know. We saw one woman say that.
And then you go back
the whole Ruby Ridge thing. If that doesn't piss you off.
If you want your mind blown, look into fucking Las Vegas. The concerts.
Yeah, that makes any sense either.
Have you looked into that? The 6 helicopters that took off, that their transponders were turned off, that there's video of people's phones pointing up and you see pop, 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 pop from the helicopters.
Yeah.
And they're not even talked about. And yes, Stevie, your contempt for the state is infinite. I agree. In the end, nothing makes sense. Nor, I guess,
don't know.
should
I
it.
think more important than nothing makes sense, Chris, is that we don't know the truth about anything.
Never have.
No. You know, me and Kyle have had a heated conversation several times about certain veterans and stories that have come out about them. And I was like, look, I've been in situations, not many. I wasn't a combat, what you would consider a combat veteran, but I've been shot at and I've shot back.
I've got an Ultim knife story that I had to use once, but that's
And I know for a fact that when we sit around and tell that story, me and the guys who were in it, every one of our stories are different. Because I'm looking at it from me to a building that's 200 yards away across a desert, and there's one window in it. I'm looking at it at a 37-degree angle. He's looking at it at a 39-degree angle. He's looking at it at a 44-degree angle. We all have a different recollection of how it happened. So even things that we were a part of, the only truth we know is what we experienced, but it's not the whole fucking truth. Because that guy at the end of the line down there, who's 3 behind me, he saw something completely different than I did. That's just the way it works. That's why jury trials don't even work. You know, how many times have we seen that torn all to pieces? That, yeah.
If it don't fit, must quit.
Right. No, if you got the money, you can get away with it.
Honey.
That's what it really boils down to.
Honey, you got the rhyme there.
Yeah.
You got the money, honey. I got time. You go honky tonkin', baby. I'll stop that.
Yeah.
I have to. That's another thing that.
Or Chris, maybe I said that wrong. Maybe you're right that nothing makes sense, but it's because we don't know the truth about anything.
You know why? I believe this. I believe some of us can, but I believe most of us can't handle the truth. We would flip out. I think like that guy that there's a famous video of him like a couple of months ago going through the Atlanta airport or somewhere going, I cannot believe right after the Epstein files leaked, I can't believe y'all are all sitting here like the invasion of the fucking body snatchers. What the fuck is wrong with all you people? You people should be up in arms. I mean, he's having a come to Jesus moment about what he just realized is going on. And the people make him out to be the crazy guy. But in reality, the people that are sitting back just going on with their day, they can't handle the truth of what's going on, is my point. My point is,
I do follow. There are a handful of veterans that I follow and listen to and get their opinions on, especially security type situations. And I remember, you know, a couple of years ago when the words Civil War were being thrown around constantly. And I remember this one particular very highly regarded combat veteran talked about that we're in civil war now. We're at war with other countries now. It's small scale. He's like, but there will never be a full scale civil war because the government knows one thing, one truth, and that is that there is a certain level of comfort that we expect. And if they don't force us to dip below that level of comfort, we're not going to do anything. You know, until the air conditioning quits working and the internet goes off, nobody's going to do anything. Because you can't stand up for what's right and do whatever it takes and then go to work tomorrow and earn your paycheck and support your wife and kids. The moment you decide to stand up and do what's right, your life is over. You have to be willing to sacrifice all that. And we're not.
I don't think it's going to be a gradual type of situation where we all have to make that decision. I think it's going to be a very quick, oh, the shit has hit the fan. Which side of history do I wake up on? And
John,
people
20
make
years ago, if you talked about all the mass shootings that are happening now, and you ask them how many mass shootings there has to be before you think the shit has hit the fan, I guarantee we've exceeded it.
oh well, yeah,
We're just so
again,
used to it. We're just so used to it. We ain't paying attention.
brother, we're so used to it. Where there's,
I see
yeah, I'm
memes
not going
all
to
the
get
time.
into.
I see these memes all the time that are super offensive, but they get me to thinking, so I look into it. And I remember seeing one. It was pretty horrible. I'll tell you what it said. It said that trans women have killed more people this year than ice agents.
Hold on a second. Say it again.
It said trans people have killed more people this year than ice agents. So I looked it up, and that's 100% true. So how can it be offensive if it's true? But
That's where the offense lies, Shane. You're figuring it out. The offensiveness of all of the things are when you realize that they're actually true,
right.
that there's actually a fabric of truth to them. That's why they not only become realizes, holy shit, how can a country or whatever little bit of information we're being fed, if people go, oh, I'm just going to turn that off.
But I only brought it up, John, because I didn't share the meme, because even I thought it was a little offensive. I didn't share the meme, but I looked into it, and then I realized it's not about people being killed. Nobody gives a shit about those people. It's just about what can I say and what can I share, what can I post to help my side win. I just want to win. I want to win this argument. I want to be the one that's right. That's all that matters. Nobody gives a shit about how many people are dying, dude. Nobody cares.
And that rolls it right back to Steel Toe. Why I'm interested in Steel Toe, because he's always winning. And it's not about winning and losing. You got to take the L's. And you got to take the L's as a lesson, not just a loss.
Well, I don't know how that relates, but I'll believe
it. It does. It totally relates. He can take a loss and spin it into a win. Our government can take a loss and spread it into a win. Right. Our people can take a loss and turn it into a win because they can't humble themselves enough to say, we fucked up. That's funny. Dopey. You're so good. I hate I missed you, dude. I'm glad you didn't see me, though, at the Rocket City. I still got that goddamn stamp on my hand. Nope, it finally came off. But I was not a happy camper there. I felt robbed of my.
Well, I wasn't upset that I didn't get to go, because in all honesty, the less mileage I can put on this foot until I get my permanent brakes, the better. But then I didn't realize it until I saw that I'd missed a call from Dopey, and I was like, shit.
We could have gotten Dopey and gone to Jack Brown's, and it would have been worth your trip. But to take you and walk you even down the hall of one of those, it's a small place. I mean, but no, it's not worth it. Yeah. It was, unless you're, and I'm sure that case buyers, and there were a lot of them there, found it great. I heard they weren't very good deals. I heard the people that I met that were selling cases are also whatnotters, and they treat that like royalty. Come to my whatnot. I auction these things off, which meant most of the cases I saw were in excess of $300, and they looked like an old bone stag case knife, which they all look like to me now.
I mean, I'm glad for them. I'm glad there's people collecting them. I'm glad there's people that love them, but I'm not interested.
Me neither. Not in the old ones. Now, I will say I was interested in this one when it came out because I'm an idiot. The little one that you hate that's got the little swing bolster.
Yeah. I remember that knife when I was a kid, and I hated it then too.
Yeah, I know. You've got a long history of hate, and it's probably valid. But then
a longer history of hate.
The knife that did it for me, and I stood there I saw it before I ever worked there. And then I worked there for about 2 months before I ever said, what is that knife? It's a slimline. Nobody bought it. Nobody wanted it because it's a slimline trapper, but it's a single blade Wharncliffe, which are makes it a little rare, makes it unique. And it just sat there and it sat there. And I like the little knife. It was $80, I think. It's got a fake denim micarta. They don't even call that denim micarta. It's got a stainless steel blade, but
Y'all like that? How we transition from politics back to knives in one sentence?
I like it.
Yeah.
It works for me. USA, made by the Zippo company. Sorry, case people. It's the facts.
Well, that's not a negative thing to say.
No, they're
Zippo's
just
been around a long time. And in all honesty, that may very well be all the pocket knife we ever really needed. Bad as I hate to admit it.
you
I'm
know,
glad it's not the only thing that exists, but
and I can dispel that with another $98 pocket knife. So we can take two. This is actually more expensive. We can take two pocket knives, and that's the tale of two different ways the knife hike goes. Because the people that love these aren't into these, and the people that understand these don't care much about these, rarely. But there's so much that powder metallurgy and steel is going to do for people that are enthusiasts. The people that buy knives, Kyle was pissed when he came on the other night, and I don't blame him. I didn't understand it, but Rick Hinder just came out with the new line of XM24s.
I don't know anything about this.
Micarta. Guess what they're making them out of? They're
What?
the traditional series,
What?
1095,
It's fucking stupid.
and they're selling them for the same money, 425 or 525 or whatever an XM24 costs. And that's what Kyle said. Kyle said it's a marketing, and I thought, wait a minute, we know, we're learning that the buying public is asking for these materials as much as the knife maker that's providing them. So Rick doing that, and I can show you the.
Because here's the thing: if he makes a batch of 1,000 of them, and a year from now he's got a couple hundred of them, first of all, he's in the red. He's in the profit, in the black. I'm sorry.
What is everything?
And he learned a lesson. I'm not making any more knives out of 1095. As long as there's people to buy them, I get it. I just don't want one.
Yeah,
stupid, and I'd need to take that back because why does it matter? I'm not buying it. It don't affect me at all.
and we don't know how many of those he's making, right? He might be making them for. Let me show you, Shane, what I got here. Let me find that. Is that letting me share?
It's up there, yeah.
All right, it's right. The vintage series. XM24 Skinny Bowie is now available.
Huh.
1095 tool steel.
I'm sure there's people that buy it.
With the Parkerized finish. Now, it does have a little special serial number. And you can't get mad at it.
Lakeside, you're in luck because I have some, and they're not 425, and they're not made out of 1095. So hit me up.
You got a bunch of not a bunch, but you got some thugs, don't you?
Yeah, I don't have a bunch, believe it or not. That decision actually kind of worked out for the best because a lot of them have been spoken for or sold or whatever.
Well, I may have some trade bait for you if you want to get rid of one.
I still owe you.
You don't owe me shit.
Well, you paid down on a Joke Wolf that
I got a Joke Wolf that was second. That's all the Joke Wolf I need. But
I still have it. Though is the point. It's still sitting there.
You know what I got? You know what I got for you, don't you? You know what I got for you, don't you? But it was before I realized how impressed they were with it.
I don't know. I can put my email address in. It's already spammed to death anyway.
Hold on a second. I'm grabbing something to show you.
If I can figure out how. I can't even read the keyboard. Let me see. Want to put my email address in, Lakeside, so write this down.
Are you doing math? Sound
No.
like you were tapping your nails over there. Check this out. You
Hang
probably
on. You can reach me right there, Lakeside.
make it big. You know how to make it go on the screen where he can read it by clicking on it?
I don't do any of that.
Look at this.
I know what that is. They sent it to you, didn't they?
Outrider, baby.
Yeah.
I know you were kind of kidding because you were going to make, but I thought about it when it came up. I was like, oh, my buddy. Dude, look at I want you to look at the sheath on this. You can appreciate that.
Yeah. But, I've worked in a Kydex shop, and I know what it takes and how much it costs.
I know, and that's fully adjustable.
Work like that. And it's just, that's way out of my, like, you can build knives a whole lot cheaper than you can make that Kydex sheet for.
This guy is, which I'm learning, is not an expensive steel. It's AEBL. It's about a 1/4 inch thick. I haven't mic'd it.
That's a perfect steel for that knife.
I don't know what
it really fucking chop a 1095 knife in half with that.
I just don't know what it's duty. I mean, the jimping on it's perfect. I just don't know what you use this for. I guess combat.
Yeah, that's what he made it for. That is a combat blade, and by combat, you know what most soldiers use their fixed blade knife for more than anything?
For banging stuff, I would think, right?
Prying crates open.
Prying crates open. Yeah.
They pry more crates open than they do anything else. Have there been thousands of people killed in their sleep with a Kevlar Marine fighting knife? Absolutely there have. But more than anything, they're prying shit open with it. And AEBL is an absolute perfect steel for that. It's tougher than 8670. It's tougher than 80 CRV2. It's tougher than 1095. It'll hold an edge 3 to 4 times longer than those steels. Whether it's AEBL, that's why I asked Dopey what he paid for that knife he bought at that blade show. He may have bought that knife just because it was kind of crude, but I could have made that same knife for the same money in a better steel, and it wouldn't be as rough looking as the one he bought. Now, like I said, that may have been what attracted him to that knife. He may have liked that. I hate to say rough because that sounds like I'm talking bad about it, but
no, rough is kind of rustic.
Yeah, like Stevie. Stevie wanted a rustic I don't know what word I'm looking for. He wanted a knife that was a little rough around the edges for me. He bought it at the perfect time. I think I over-delivered on it a little bit.
Were you here last night when we talked about Wilfred?
Hang on, I need to address Richard Hopkins. Richard, I addressed you earlier. I thought you were here, but maybe you weren't here yet. So we already had the conversation about me having it lasered. My laser guy is undependable at the moment, but then you told me not to worry about the lasering. But as embarrassing as this is, I just got my check this weekend, so I now have the money to ship your knife, and I will ship it tomorrow. It's sharpened, it's ready to go, it's in the box that you asked for, all that stuff. I didn't have the money to ship it.
Does it need, this is not to interrupt it, but Richard and I ship a lot of shit back and forth. Does it need a laser still? Would it be helpful if you ship
He
it to
said
me?
he knew who made it. He didn't need it lasered. I thought
Yeah.
about that too. I thought about mailing it to you, let you get it lasered, mailing it off to him, but he's waited too long already.
Okay. Well, just throwing that out there. And again, I don't know if
And Dopey, that's another thing. If that knife was stock removal and it looked like that, it looked like shit. But if it's hand forged, and that's why you like it, because he left the forging mark, then there's nothing at all wrong with that. I wasn't talking bad about your knife. My fret is laserless. Do what now?
it might not have a
did that happen?
etching. I don't know. Mine's
Is anything you bought from me had a maker's mark on it? Because I know you were adamant about me laser. I don't understand how your knife got to you without being lasered.
because I can definitely. The reason mine did is because I got stonewashed after it was lasered.
Okay, the Joke Wolf I did have lasered, but fret I did not. I got you. I'd be glad to cover the shipping if you want to ship it to John.
And I will get it lasered and shipped back to you the same freaking day.
Yeah, I'll be glad to cover that.
I'll cover it too.
Yeah. I wish I had. I mean, I do have a dependable laser source, but I'd have to drive to Huntsville or ship them all, and a whole nother step in logistics.
And we never sat
I don't
down.
know
We
if my
got to
margin-
sit down with him and get him sharp on his pencil before we.
I don't know that I can absorb any more logistics and what little margin I'm making on them already.
Yeah, and right now, Kate, if you're listening, you're gonna have to lean in a little harder, brother. I was gonna show you. I got a Joke Wolf, buddy.
Yeah.
I've been putting it in my store.
You can always ship it, man. Just ship it to me. That way I can get started on it.
Yeah.
Lakeside, if you know how to get in touch with, if you use my email or if you know how to get in touch with Javon, any of that, I'm not one of those people, dude. I'd be glad to. I'm not going to put it on here, but I'd be glad to just give you my phone number and we can text about it. Yeah, that was the original. Yeah. Why do your fingers look like
You know what? I've noticed my whole color system's fucked up, dude. I'm pink. Everything's pink. I've got nothing. I'm trying to figure out. Let me jump out and come back in. Hold on a second.
Yeah, because your nose is glowing. Yeah. Well, like I said, I'm probably going to have to, at the end of the day, I'm probably going to start doing that, doing the metal etch with the little sponge and all that. I like the laser better. But like I said, I can't handle paying much more in logistics. And it's just, I haven't found anybody that I can truly depend on to do it. Like he's under a black light. But Bugsy, it looks like he's got on something on his skin, making that black light glow even more. Yes,
it's goddamn pink. What the fuck?
You're not just pink, you're glowing.
I'm glowing pink, dude. I have no background. Hold on a second.
On my screen, just not the glow's not pink.
Visual effects. Hold on. I don't have any visual effects going on. I don't have anything. Mirror my camera. No. Full definition. What goes if I go back to 720?
What if you turn that blue light off?
See what happens if I go back to 720.
I haven't seen any changes yet.
And it's still fucking blue. Hold on. All right. I got this blue light off.
No, that didn't help.
All right. It's probably the black. It's probably this black light.
Yeah, of course it's the black light. Just turn on regular lights. All your live streams are pure purple. Like I can never tell the color of it. When you show knives, I can never see what color the knife is. Because your screen is always purple.
This knife is fucking. Yeah, hold on. Let me get it fixed. All I gotta do is turn this one light off. I can't reach it.
I'm telling you though, your live streams have been like this for a year. It's too much. I mean, I get it. You want that thing behind you to glow. No, not any better.
It's still something with my camera, man. I'm telling you. Hold on.
That brought a little warmth, but you're still glowing. That's better though.
Still fucking pink.
Yeah.
All right, I'm about to turn off the blue
There's got to
camera.
be a black light on somewhere. If the black light wasn't on, your
Hold
backdrop
on.
would glow like that.
The black drop, the backlight is off, but there is one blue light that is about to be turned off.
Well, what's
Hold on.
making your backdrop glow?
This blue light that I'm watch this. When I turn it on, this is what watch this. Go to source. Boom.
Bam. Yeah, now you look normal. That's much
Hey
better.
guys. Yeah, but nobody wants to see
I
this.
had no idea your shirt was yellow.
Dude.
You need to put the black light behind your knife box so it just makes your backdrop glow, but not you. Like I've
Right.
never been able to tell what color a knife is when you hold it up, ever. Unless you do your
Dude.
tabletop. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I try to do my tabletop, except for yeah, that was a big fucking descent into nowhere. But I've got this huge light on me that I'm gonna go like this. Watch this. Boom.
Yeah, that looks much better, dude.
I know. Well, see, I like my different colors because usually I'm hallucinating anyway.
Yeah, but you're not supposed to make us feel like we're hallucinating.
Yes, that's part of the game to take you with me. To take you with me.
I'll be honest, John. It kind of strains my eyes and gives me a headache. And sometimes that's why I don't watch for the whole live stream.
It's working. It's weeding out the fucking trolls. I'm kidding, dude.
You're right.
I know. I just got it set up and I just never change it. But I could. The only problem with doing what you said is I wanted it set up behind this piece of furniture right here. If I could sell that, dude, I would probably be good for life. That is a 1920 something stereo, console stereo that my grandmother had. So I can't even move it out an inch because they make these small little, I ordered them and had to send them back. Black lights that shoot up, but they didn't even light up my thing. So I got this big industrial one, but I've got to shoot it way out. So yeah, I've gone for the purple look and embraced it. See, I'm missing my black. Let's see what happens if I turn the black light back on now that I've got everything.
And now that you fixed it, you're gonna fuck it up again.
Yeah. I'm not gonna fuck it up. Tippy's looking at me through the door. If I go let her in, she won't let me in though.
Yeah.
But back to knives. I've not done a review on this one yet. This is coming to Amazon only. It's going to be like a $50 knife. Y'all love this guy. This guy's now in a
or sheepdog.
sheepdog with the top liner lock. D2.
Hey, I just thought of something. Have I shown Richard's knife yet?
Not to me.
I don't think anybody has seen it, have they?
Not
Well,
to
you know,
me.
it was kind of inspired by the sheepdog.
Go get it.
I named it. It's just right over there. Let me grab it. That way I can show it, and then I can ship it out tomorrow.
Well, do show it. Yep.
Yeah, I haven't had it. I haven't had it here until now.
This sheepdog, I want to say, let's see what Amazon's selling it for. It's very inexpensive, and it's a very good knife. I've always been a fan of the sheepdog, and I'm a huge fan of the top liner lock or the finger button liner lock. I don't want to go to Amazon Prime. I want to go to Amazon. Amazon.com.
This knife is kind of special to me because, for those of you who don't know, Meathead did a large part of the labor on this knife. So this is kind of a collab between me and Meathead.
This going to Richard?
Yeah. And when I showed it, Richard bought it almost instantly. But check this bitch out, man. I love it. I think he did a great job.
Ooh.
Bolt-on handles, all recessed, Pops Pro Cut. It's a big bitch.
Is that this is my ignorance. Is that a like kitchen utensil or is that
Oh,
a
it's a little
outside
thick for that. It's a camp knife.
camp knife
I
cutting
mean,
and chopping?
it's
Oh God.
yeah, it's a little thick for kitchen work, but I mean, it could do as tall as it is. It's still got excellent geometry.
I bet it cuts like a bitch.
And it's got that Ete wood, that Brazilian hardwood handles.
Nice, Rich.
Yeah.
Rich says take some pictures of it before you send it to him, so you'll have some.
Yeah. But I kind of gave him an idea, and he ran with it. And this is what he did.
I think it looks awesome. But you need to make it. You need to make something so you can recreate it. If somebody
he's already got he did a wooden mold of it, so you can just trace it out and make another one. Because I'm definitely making more of these, for sure. But that's Richard's knife.
It looks freaking awesome. Kaiser is so slack. Sheepdog button lock. BD. Let's go BD.
Yeah.
It's not on
It did that knife kind of opened my eyes to some things. I think I was applying too much of my handle geometry on my larger knives to what I was doing on my smaller knives. Because like me, I was always saying, man, your handles aren't beefy enough. And I like
the bigger knives.
I like a thin handle on a small knife, but on this knife, these are pretty beefy. They're definitely hand filling, and it does make the ergonomics better. I don't know if I showed it, but it's got.
Ooh, that's got chunky liner and yes, that's at least got to be what
liner.
3/4 inches overall for the handle.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, probably 3/4 inches. Yeah. But we are going to make more of these. He's just waiting on the word. Actually, if you want one of these, you can actually get it quicker. Because all I got to do is tell Meathead, he'll cut it out, drill it. All I do on this knife is I grind the bevels. He even did the heat treat, but he did it exactly to recipe. So
what you said Pro Cut? What'd you call it?
Yeah, this was in Pro Cut. I can do them in Cut or not AUBL Nitro V, all for about the same price, about $200. That's without a sheath. If you want a sheath, then it's just whatever Terry charges for a sheath.
Hey, have you talked to and Richard's probably not ready to talk about that yet. And you talked to the Roman gnome about his sheath?
Who?
The Roman gnome, Richard. Ooh, I'll let the cat out of the bag. Richard Hopkins has been making little sheaths in his
I think he told me that. Yeah, he told me that. He'll probably make his own sheath for that.
Well, he's doing some really good sheaths, and that's what I was thinking. If you need, I don't think he's ready to go full time because they travel all the time. But
well, that's a good point, Bugsy. And I'm that's the one design aspect I'm not positive on that, because if you are using this for a camp knife and you're, I'll just say this: I'm more concerned about this sharpening choil, paracord or something like that getting hung in the choil instead of cutting. So, and I mean, it's very shallow, but it does kind of give the steel, if it's going to break, a place to. I may not do sharpening choils on these in the future.
So talk to me about what you're thinking, because I've heard other people talk about the weakness that it creates, and it's
a very small amount. I mean, the steel was probably going to break anyway.
And where this comes from,
and if it's going to break, it's going to break right here where it starts to get thin, and there just happens to be a sharpening choil there. I'm willing to sacrifice that on most knives for a sharpening choil.
Those
tailors. I'm worried that if you were running it down, if you're trying to cut some paracord or something, and the paracord, it's just big enough for the paracord cord to go into that choil, I'm afraid about you getting hung on it. So I may not do sharpening choils on these in the future.
This came up when I was talking about those Randalls we got in, those whole bunch of Randalls.
Yeah.
They take, just like on this crazy Kaiser, this last little bit,
Yeah.
is left unsharpened.
Right.
Why? It's
I don't know.
But it's a thing that they've been doing since the days of Randall, where John was like, "Oh, that's just you don't sharpen that far back." I was like, "Well, the steel goes back. What do you mean you don't sharpen that far back?" Because I'm just telling you, dude. That's what people. And he kind of got, that's the way it is. I'm like, you sharpen. I thought to where you sharpened. Well, you don't sharpen past that point. Okay, so you leave a little eighth of an inch of flat area on every blade that Randall makes, or others that
I can't see what benefit there would be from not sharpening it all the way. I don't know. Maybe
like
there's
this right here. It's already. I haven't sharpened it, but it just you could take a. If you look, I'm gonna make myself big. Hold on. If you look right here, it comes to a little roll that just is not sharpened before you get to this choil. Like if you're looking right here,
I see it.
there's that little area that's not sharpened at all. What?
I don't know.
Why? I mean, it seems like you would go like Spyderco straight back and then sharpen it. I don't understand why they would leave that. And then I went and looked at some of the bigger knives that the big one of these looks like it copied the Drop Bear 7. They all had that little area that's not sharpened. It's
I
like
can tell you, I'm not sure about Randall. I won't speak for him, but on those Chinese knives, it's because of how they sharpen it. It's two opposing wheels, and they literally take that knife edge and push it up between them and draw it out.
right.
If you're doing that, you're never going to hit that first eighth right there after the plunge.
Right. But I'm trying to think of some other and I don't know if it's Dark Rivers.
But yeah, Meathead, that is what it was weird timing because Richard and I talked about doing the Shepherd. He said he wanted the first one. Well, when Meathead made that, I called it the Meathead. And he said he wanted it, and I told him I was thinking about just making that the Shepherd. But I like the idea of naming it the Meathead too. So I don't know.
Turn this bright motherfucker on and do a little base prep here.
Benchmade didn't sharpen the last 3.49 inches of the blade.
Dopey, they try.
Yeah.
The one thing good about Benchmade is you can send them back. And if that came into Knives and More, which you might have bought it at Knives and More, John's really good about culling those things. Because I've gone in his desk before when Benchmates have come in and he'll have 3 or 4 sitting on his desk. He's like, these things ain't going out. I'm sending these back. They should have never made it out. So I don't know.
Well, let me ask you this. When you say when people bring a Benchmade clone into y'all's store, I mean, you're not telling me that he takes it away from them.
No. He tells them what they have and why he's not buying it. If they sell it to him, if he takes it in, as in part of a 300 knife deal, right? He's destroying the Benchmades. But no, he won't yank your knife out of your hand and go crush it. They're not adamantly.
And these Facebook knife groups, especially like the Spyderco, Millie Club, stuff like it's every day somebody posts a picture of either a Spyderco or a Benchmade asking people if it's fake. Then you find out they gave $50 for it at a point. Well, of course it's fake. But here's the thing. I don't feel bad for you.
You bought it, yeah.
If you bought it for $50, hoping that you could turn around and resell it for $200 and took advantage.
Yeah, that's
then fuck you. You deserve to get a clone knife. Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of agree with. Be careful. The universe provides, right?
Right.
The universe is going to provide. I did get an interesting question though, because I've seen, I've seen John do stuff like I can't, I couldn't in good conscience do that, because you're asking a lot less for it than it's worth. But I've also heard him say, dude, sometimes I feel bad when I offer somebody something and they take it right away. Because when it comes down to business, if they're wanting $100 for it, who am I to tell them it's worth 1,000?
Well,
You know, I don't know. I mean,
I think morals have to come into it at some point. Like I've seen Rick on Pawn
he's got
Stars.
good morals, I think, though.
I saw Rick on Pawn Stars. You know, he asked somebody, "What are you looking to get for this?" And I don't remember. I know it was a brooch that she got from her grandmother. I don't remember what her number was, but she's like, I was thinking a couple $100, and he's like, "Well, this is worth like 20,000."
There's one thing about Pawn
He was
Stars.
actually honest with him.
Think about this with me. Help me understand this. Maybe I'm thinking it wrong because he said the thing he never understood about Pawn Stars, one of his favorite shows, is when they call in a specialist, right? You're the seller. You, Shane, are selling something. The Pawn Stars are going to call in an authenticator, or are you the seller? He says, I'm the seller. I'm finding the person to authenticate it. It's like a lawyer. You know, why would you wait? Why would you put
Yeah, that authenticator was working for Rick.
Exactly. At that point. Exactly.
At the same time, when the authenticator says, "Hey, I think what you got here is worth between $7,000 and $10,000,"
that's when you go.
you expect Rick to give him $7,000. No, he's got to sit on that with his on his shelf, possibly for years, and then
You're exactly right.
Off of it, he can't give you $7,000.
You're exactly right.
Now, you know, if it's a holographic Pokemon card and it'll sell tomorrow on eBay, that's different. Yeah, I don't need you to undercut me because you're going to have to sit on it forever. But you know, an antique pistol or something like that, you don't know how long it's going to be for somebody buys that.
That's true. Because I mean, it's always going to be worth that person's got to come around and be willing to part with that kind of cash for it to know what they got.
Yeah, and why are you going to a pawn shop trying to get top dollar in the first place? That's not the place. Pawn shop is for desperation.
But Tate, our little buddy, he goes to pawn shops just to see what they've got. And 2 months ago, he came across a Medford out the side, this legit, that he picked up for a couple $100. Yeah. That was at a pawn shop, not at a knife store.
I seen you badmouthing me earlier, blaming me for you buying a Medford. I'm just curious which Medfords you got. Send me pictures of them on Instagram when you get a chance.
Which ones do you not like? I'll buy your Medford unless you got a big ass one, because Medford's freaking rock. Which Medford?
That's what I just asked him. I told him to send me pictures.
I did trade my Midi Marauder, not my Slim Midi, but my Midi Marauder, and it sold and was traded back in. So I've got a chance to buy it again. I don't think I'm going to. It's blue. Yeah.
I was really shocked when I sharpened that Petroleum Slim last week. Remember the one I sent you the picture of?
Mm-hmm.
I thought that even though it was called a Slim, I didn't expect it to be as thin as it was. Like the Petroleum Slim's no bigger than that.
No, it's the same thinness.
Yeah, it's a really nice knife.
It is a nice knife. It's got a flipper, right?
Yeah, he bought it from Greg at Mark's Outdoors in Birmingham, Alabama. I remember the grand opening because Greg invited me to come down there and I couldn't. He gave $450 for that knife.
The thing that makes, and all of mine make me sick, what I give for them. This is a DLC or DLT exclusive. It's an S90V. And it's got the falling leaves pattern. This one was $795. As you see it. Well, it won't sell for half that.
I know, but
if you look it's worth it.
If you look at what those type knives sell for with that much custom work done.
Yeah, it's got a lot of work done to it that I don't know.
Probably actually $1,000 knife in today's market.
But this one cost under $7,000, and it's got, I guess, more of a laser type of, even though that flag and those panels are done, they're not done nearly as deep as the tumbling leaves. So I'm sure that's a totally different price point to have that laser stuff done. This knife was $6 something, and it's more than, I just cut my thumb. Maybe not. I love this knife. I love the way it looks. I love the way it carries. I wish it had a bigger clip, but it's a knife that I'll always keep. It's just a testament that somebody made this bad motherfucker. And yeah, it was
That was
great.
one of the first knives you ever loaned me to review.
Yeah, I love this knife,
Let
dude.
me keep it like what 4 months or some shit.
Yeah, something like that. I wasn't carrying it anymore. I mean, one side.
I know. I just remember driving to Huntsville. We spent 2 hours together, and you sent me home with like
all kinds of stuff.
Thousands of dollars worth of pocket knives, not knowing if I'd ever come back.
I knew kind of where you were. Not that I could do anything to get them back from you. And at the time, I didn't even have a channel, did I? Or did I have one yet? I knew you started it right around I think we started right around the same time.
Yeah. It's been funny watching my channel. I don't even know how many subscribers. I think I've got 2.2. Dude, but my channel, well, it stopped when I stopped, so that's fair.
What's funny is if you go to my channel and see who I recommend, you can have just a few people show up. Check it out.
Yeah, I've got 2,344 subscribers, and I've had over 2,000 for a long time, but I don't post anything anymore. How would I get subscribers?
Well, that's the whole thing. And for some reason, I've got auto run on mine, which sucks. It makes it. But if you go and you look at the people that I've got sharing love with, check this out. So if you go to my channel and you scroll down,
Careful Panic still on there?
yeah.
Is he?
No. You're number one. And then I got Stevie, Manufacturing. My buddy Lefty will always be there. Ron, we got to get Ron past 79 subscribers.
Well, he don't post anything either.
I know.
He started, but he had time.
And then we got Kyle. Grab it.
No, I ain't got to get it.
But then I've got Neves and Metal Complex.
Yeah.
But yeah, you and Ryan are up there at the top, and Kyle, who all do I have? I don't even know who I've got. Therapeutic Edge, Women Carry Knives, G-Ball, MPG, OCD, Rob's Nerdy Knives. Yeah, nobody I would change.
Did you see her post of her pregnant belly the other day?
No, but she is with us.
Pregnant bellies are beautiful, dude.
She jumped in. I wasn't going to go there, but I believe you.
No, I mean, she didn't have her shirt off or anything. I just mean that form, knowing that.
Well, she jumped into one of the lives and said that
she's creating life, John.
Yeah, well, that's what I was saying. She jumped in one of the lives and said, "I've been really busy. I don't know if you know, but we're expecting." And I was like, "That's just. I mean, it made my night. You know, that's the greatest news. It's also going to be, you know, a big source of your constant stress and sorrow."
Don't get me wrong. When I say pregnant women are beautiful, I'm not talking about in a sexual way. I'm just talking about
you're not. The fact that they can do. I know. I wasn't taking that away from you.
Creating a human.
They create a human, creating a future heroin addicted car thief. If you listen to Tim Dillon,
and I hate that society now has tried to discount that with women. Even women are like, we don't want to be known for making babies, and I'm like,
that keeps
the most
society
important job on the fucking planet. Why would you not want to take credit for that?
Yeah. Anybody.
If he turns out to be a car thief, that's his dad's fault.
Exactly.
Women weren't meant. They were meant to create, not
Dr. Drew, dude.
Not to nurture.
Look at Dr. Drew, dude. He's got it. He's all over it.
Pasta noodle belly. I'm surprised Drizzy remembers that. I was so excited about that video. Do you know what he's talking about, John?
No.
This girl took her belly button piercing out and stuck a stick of spaghetti pasta through her piercing hole, and then got in the hot tub. Sat there for a few minutes, got out, pulled the noodle through her belly button hole, and ate it. And I thought it was the coolest thing I'd ever seen.
Hold on a second. Let me take you off my fucking channel recommendation.
This is my channel, bitch.
I know, but I'm on my channel looking, and I've got
I'm assuming Drizzy remembered it. That's why he said
did.
that.
He did. I still,
Yeah.
every time I see a little guy falling, I think, or even a bad snowboard wreck, I'm like, man, James would have done that so much better. How is little James?
I hadn't seen him in a couple months. I
But
need to
he's
watch
doing
him.
okay, I guess. He's
I really
making
don't.
progress.
The only time I can see him if I go to McDonald's, and I'm not a fan of McDonald's, but I'm due. I could go by soon.
I
He
tell
only
you,
works
man.
a couple days a week now.
Oh, fucking Taco Bell stuck it to me
Female
last week.
remembers it. Yeah, that's the old school channel members. Remember the chick with the stick of spaghetti.
Yeah, there was not much shame in your game if you think about it going back there. We'll call it the pre-C days.
It's just like a circus sideshow, dude. I loved it.
Oh, what's so funny is you could monetize it and
The
write a
fact that she
book.
didn't break it. She didn't break it putting it in, and she didn't find it out when it was all wet and noodly. It just
So,
right
so did you just
what
eat
I
it?
wanted to do is I wanted to suck the noodle out of it myself, but I'd pay money to do that.
At least you let your dignity stay intact. You were underwater snorkeling for that son of a bitch. If I know you,
She could put a little marinara in her belly button.
oh god,
Oh me.
Doc trying to
Kathleen
populate
had
the world by
breakfast,
himself.
Sorry, Kathleen.
This is a good knife. Back to knives. And I don't know what's going on with North Mountain Blade and
They're detent balls.
well, their detent ball went crazy, but I told you about that story, dude. I've got dude, look at this. Oh, I've got a video coming, but look. It's fixed. So every North Mountain Blades ships with a little packet of hardware. Every
Yeah, you
piece of
told us
hardware.
that.
Yeah, everything.
Yeah, you told us you replaced the detent ball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if it goes out again, I'm screwed. But even my dryer has everything. I mean, it has a complete set of all the hardware. Huh?
You can just get a detent ball if it happens again.
Yeah, but then I got to press it in. Nobody wants to do that shit.
Well, if it falls out again, I'd put a drop of super glue in the hole and then press it in.
How am I going to find it? I mean, when it fell out before.
You just buy a detent ball.
But are they making one size?
Well, no, you need to know the size. You'd have to get the hole marked to find out which ball you need.
I'm saying,
I'm just saying it's not an end of the world thing. It can be fixed.
I know, but the little, I'll tell you, it was almost the end of the world thing.
You can send it to Donnie Bless and he'd put a detent ball in it for like $700.
How about not? See that little thing right there that I unscrew and I take it out?
Mm-hmm.
That thing is like a puzzle piece. So the new detent ball and the detent ball housing looks like a puzzle piece. I had to get a flat blade. First, I thought I could do it just with my little plastic wedgie thing, but I had to get a razor knife and go in between there and get it to separate just right because it was so well press fitted. The piece itself, I mean, dude, it was a lot.
Yeah.
Not anybody could do it, but I was able to, and I'm sure it'll fall out again. But what are you going to do?
Rody said there's a YouTube video on how to figure out which detent ball it is and how to press it.
Very simple.
Ron, clearly, you're just giving up too damn easy. You've got so many knives, it's not going to matter to you if you lose that.
Did I give up? Let me tell you something, dude. I was writing an ass blistering fucking DM to North Mountain Blade to tell them how dissatisfied I
You can't
was.
read English.
I know, but before I got to the end of it, I said, wait a minute. There's a little bag of shit
Kathleen,
that
you
comes with
left,
it.
you left at a perfect time, man. I'm glad you were gone for the last 10 minutes.
And I ran and found it, and I'll be danged if it wasn't. Everything was there.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it that they're doing it because they don't want to have to deal with situations of people calling saying, hey, my detent ball fell out. Well, we can't send you one because it's going to cost us God knows what, you know. So I get it, but it was nice to have the part. And I've noticed that with Kaiser. Now, Kaiser doesn't send every part, but they send parts, I guess, that they think are going to fail, which makes me wonder, But usually it's just stuff like springs Benchmade never did that. Yeah, John will pick up a different knife. No, and then the whole thing is like I was going to tell them, and like I'll say, I mean, I made a video on it that the detent ball fell out, and this is how I fixed it. I'm not going to say it didn't happen. I've had the detent ball fall out of my null, my voodoo, and that's it. That's the second detent ball I've ever had fall out. I've never had a detent ball issue. I have had a broken axis spring on my Eagle Strike from Concept, but never from Benchmade. I just have rare failures. Rarely do I have something fail. Now, I cut myself on camera quite a bit. Y'all don't see it because I dry that shit up. That was my Medford hit my thumb.
Dopey, I was going to find that video and send it to you, but I can't find it anymore.
Which one is it?
The spaghetti video.
Oh.
I don't know what happened to it. I don't even remember where I saw it.
Phil Stone Day, I got the guys that could have swapped out the knife immediately.
We're not going to talk about it.
And that's awesome. They will definitely do it. The whole point is, how do I get it to them to do it, right? I mean, you'd hope that they have somebody like Dave Warren in the States, or, you know, I don't know if y'all know this, but Lefty was Kunwu's service for a long time.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Richard, I just got your message, and I appreciate that, man. I know you would have. I was just pretty embarrassed and wouldn't have felt right asking. But make sure to resend me what address you want it shipped to, so I'll make sure I get it to the right place.
Ooh.
I'm sure you've sent it to me in the past, but send it to me fresh. When I get there tomorrow, I can just open our thread and it'll be right there, if you don't mind.
Yeah, detent balls, I guess, are probably the most likely to fail if you think about it with the knife, especially if you open them like we do.
I mean, it is a ceramic ball. It's a mechanical thing. Stuff can happen. I wouldn't think anything about a detent ball coming out.
Yeah,
now,
but
if the hole was machined too big and it wouldn't hold a detent ball, that might be an issue. But a custom maker can actually go one size larger with the detent ball and fix it, and you would have a
stronger detent.
For those of you who like that kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm falling out of love with this knife a little bit. Anybody want a $400 Chinese knife?
No.
MagnaCut?
No. That's not MagnaCut. Quit telling people that.
It's MagnaCut.
It is not. It's Magic Cut from China.
Magna.
We tried to tell you. You bought that knife out of
I
your
know.
You bought that knife because we gave you such a hard time about it.
I like this knife, and y'all have not seen how it locks up. I still need to send it to you. Check it out. If the box was not sealed up, I would send it for you to look at. Innovation. I think it's innovative. Okay. Is it $400 innovation? Let's see if I've got anything inscribed on the inside. Hold on. Might be more special than I'm giving it credit for.
I was just shocked in your financial situation that you paid $400 for that.
You know what I did to get this?
Yeah.
I traded with this.
You spoke a bowl behind the 7-Eleven?
No, faggot. This was a pro. I'm trying to think of the two knives. It was a. Why can't I think of their names? Not Pro Cut. I'm thinking MagnaCut. Who makes the fucking Malibu?
ProTech.
Is a ProTech Newport. ProTech Newport. And a super. It was a big Concept. So it was an imported knife and a Newport. And what kind of got me a little bit pissed off, but not enough not to trade, was he wanted to go retail to retail.
Who?
Mihai, my little buddy.
Who's Mihai?
Mihai's one half of Mr. Designs.
Oh.
So I traded with him. So I traded $400 worth of retail knives for this knife instead of cost of goods for this knife.
Well, that would have been $70.
No, dumbass. You don't have to point at the fucking obvious. I was trying to get it from him. I was trying to say, well, how do you want to do this, dude? I've got these knives. I know what they cost. I know what they're worth. I like the knife.
I've never been a fan of the Newport, though.
Don't give me the Newport. It's a great. I think I saw it on Jared Neve's video. That should tell me something.
John, there's a million knives you've called great. You call Slossie. It's just it doesn't do anything for me.
No, it doesn't do anything for me. But his point was for somebody who's getting into out the side automatics that doesn't want a Kershaw, it's a good entry point, and maybe that's price. I don't know. I found out the hard way that this is the hardest ProTech to sell.
Which one?
The Whiskers 2.
Why?
People don't know how to open it.
Oh. Well, I guess.
And that's coming from a guy that sells them. He passed on it.
Yeah, but can't you just show people how?
Well, yeah, but the point is people don't want to be, if they're coming in looking for an automatic with the button, they're not looking for a neat way to conceal the button. I would have never thought that.
I appreciate ProTech and I appreciate everything they do. But at the same time, they don't excite me. I was a little excited about the Chavez just because it was an opportunity for a guy to get a Chavez design, American made. But then when I saw the knife that they're releasing the Magnamax in, is it Magnamax or is it Rex 121?
Which one?
The ProTech Chavez collab.
No, I'm not. I didn't know they were doing a special.
It's just super plain and kind of ugly in my opinion. So I lost interest.
Dopey, I agree with you. The TR3 I love as a manual. I think it is better also as an auto. I got it as a manual because of the thumb studs. But I'll tell you, as sad as I am to say it, the best ProTech button lock manual now is the one that Sean Atmore designed with Peace Neighbor, the Avalon, I think it's called.
Which is just a TR4 with a switch.
Is that what it is? I mean, it looks. I was surprised that they.
I was already in production, and he added a touch to it before they released it. They were already planning on releasing the TR4 as a manual because the last TR4 manuals they did horribly.
My favorite is the SBR full size. They had that little SBR small one, the Les George.
It's not a SBR if it's a full size. S stands for short.
Okay, what's the Rockeye? Rockeye, yeah. The Rockeye is probably my favorite. And they don't make many of those.
I don't like it.
You don't like it?
It's too thick. It don't cut good. It's not big enough to be a hard use knife. It lacks identity.
A knife that surprised the shit out of me, and y'all watch my video if you want to see it, is that SOCOM Ramlock. The SOCOM has always been a thick knife for me and never struck me as a cutter, and it always had the clip backwards.
Yeah.
This one has a finger choil, and it's got a much thinner blade.
Yeah, I agree, Josh. It's supposed to be a scapegoat, but it looks like ProTech took the idea of the scapegoat and added their design language to it and fucking ruined it. So I don't want it.
Which one's that? The Avalon?
No, that Chavez is supposed to be.
Chavez. Gotcha.
I don't remember which steel it is. It's a highly sought out. I can't remember if it's Magnamax or Rex 121 it's supposed to come out in.
Or is it one of them? Is it the K-Melt or the?
I don't know. I just know it's supposed to be something special. And I was excited. Then I saw it and I wasn't. It doesn't look like a Chavez at all to me. It looks like it's kind of like the Newport. It's just boring. That's a nice knife you got in your hand right there.
Dude, I was so lucky to get this knife. And again, I wasn't looking for this knife. I was looking for a Sabenza more, but I really like this knife.
Yeah, you got
It's
the
a
better.
user. It's not fancy. It's got blims all over it. It's been used, but it's perfect for me. Perfect for me.
Well, Kathleen, I appreciate that sentiment. And I didn't say anything grotesquely bad, but it is good that I think enough of you that you've become a little bit of a moral compass. That way, at least I don't go too far.
Kathleen's a huge moral compass, and a lot of times it's not until afterwards that I
I
realize.
will say though, my live streams,
Thanks, Bugsy.
broke triple digits back in the day when I had zero filter. They were much more successful, but then again,
YouTube also took you away.
also shut me down for a year.
They're like, "Hey, buddy, you need to kind of chill. You need some Medina."
We're gonna give you a year to sit and think about what you did.
By the way, there are still about 4 of these available at Knives and More. They've not been marked up.
Zero blade.
Yeah, they're drop points. I think one of them's a semi-serrated, but I have a feeling they're going to go up in value. All Microtechs tend to. And I would trade this for a SOCOM.
Something a little controversial.
Yep.
I'm not all that excited about Magnamax. If it's the same edge retention as K390, I'll just use K390. I don't know. I don't think it's different enough for me to be excited about it. And here's another thing. I don't think I've seen MagnaCut perform at K390 levels because of who it, and I'm sure that when ProTech does that Magnamax, I'd be willing to bet that ProTech Magnamax will not outcut Brian Kim's MagnaCut because of his heat treat and his geometry. Well, so I'm just not that excited about it yet. Maybe if I got some and I could get the recipe from Brian and what I would be, but I'm not excited about buying it from a production company. I mean, you guys saw Laren's chart. On Laren's own chart, his edge retention chart, it shows the S30V has better edge retention than MagnaCut.
Didn't Laren?
But we've also seen Brian's MagnaCut tested by Outpost 76 literally smoke almost everything on the market. So I'm not interested from ProTech. And I'm not bad-mouthing ProTech. They do a good job. What are you doing?
I'm trying to lube up a stitch without cutting my finger.
Yeah, that's a badass looking knife. I love the idea of it. But then when I even like holding it in my hand and imagining burying it into something. But then I would never carry that.
It's not bad to carry.
On ground.
It would be good in a mini, and that probably sounds sacrilegious.
No, I don't think so.
I really think the SOCOM.
If I had a deep hollow grind on it, I might change my sentiment about it.
I'll tell you what's beautiful, and Jeff has it. Is it the Borka fixed blade? What's it called? It's a.
That knife makes way more sense as a fixed blade.
It's like this knife is a fixed blade, but this knife has got
any sharp knife will do that.
But this is probably the sharpest factory edge,
which is surprising that you got a Microtech that sharp.
It is very surprising, and the geometry shouldn't cut this well.
Well, if it has a sharp edge,
you're right.
Geometry to cut paper.
That's true.
Sharp edge.
That's true.
Push it to a block of cheese, see how it cuts.
Very true.
Yeah.
And not very good.
Double wall cardboard.
Or, dude, I ran into a boost box that I'd cut up that I was going to use, and I got to the double wall section of the boost box where it turns the corner, and I'd cut it in straight. Dude, that was hard to push any knife through. They make cardboard that's hard to cut. But this is a good knife that I wish I didn't have. I would rather have the SOCOM because I think it's even though it seems just as tactical, it's not.
You want to know what knife I've used more in the past month than any other knife I own? You ready?
Yep. Don't you love that knife?
No, but I'm going to tell you why I use it more than any other knife I own. Because of this corner, it is absolutely awesome at opening grizzly cans. The only knife that's better than this at opening a grizzly can is my Spyderco Carahawk. But this stays on my nightstand beside my roll of grizzly.
And
When I
you
need
just
a new can, it cuts that paper because of that sharp little corner and that hollow grind. It cuts that paper seamlessly. Like I can cut it and you can look at it, you can't even tell it's cut.
well, surely you could put it into your rotation and get more cuts out of it, like with Amazon
No,
packages.
I'll never carry it, but don't get me wrong, I appreciate it because I use it every day.
That's all that matters. Another great knife that's underhyped.
What's that?
A knife that Ryan Ellis told me about, the Kershaw Bel Air.
I showed Protect at their booth how bad their bevels were, and they shrugged it off and kept selling the shit Malibus. I handed back to them after checking 10 of them.
Really?
Yeah.
That doesn't sound Davish at all.
Well, yeah, but you have to keep in mind there too, though, man. Protect's only going to be as good as whoever's grinding bevels that month. Maybe their bevel grinding guy got promoted, or maybe quit.
And what their client expects.
I remember a point in time where you couldn't get a Medford that would cut paper, and now everybody's saying his knives come razor sharp.
I got somebody.
Yeah. Lakeside, you're right. We like to hate on them, but the vest serration is the best cutter. A sharp vest serrated knife is the best cutter on the planet. No straight edge knife will cut as well as a freshly sharpened vest serration.
I've got some killer strops that came from a brother in the community that are full-size table strops. And then I found a little strop that I bought back when I was buying shit about 3 years ago from Knife Works. And it was this little double-sided guy. One side's not as thick, and I had regular compound on it, but I got an eraser and took the compound off the hard side.
Yeah.
And I use it now for my little...
I'm going to say something a little controversial, John.
Talk to me.
I'm not a huge fan of Gary Creeley being on your live stream every Tuesday.
That's all right.
I'm a fan of Gary, but I'm not a fan of him being on every Tuesday. But that being said, his diamond emulsion is the first diamond. It's the first time I've ever been able to feel that I'm doing something when I strop a knife. Like I can feel it snapping the burr off. Every knife I have in my possession right now is sharper than it has ever been because of that emulsion.
Did you get it from?
I got it from Sharpening Supply.
And
I wasn't buying all 3 bottles.
What kind did you get? Because I've got to get a bottle.
I got the 6 micron because I like a little extra bite. I just got 1 ball of the 6 micron. It's very tiny. I'll show it to you. It's right here.
Well, but the way that it applies, it looks like you could.
It took 4 drips. Like total, it might have been 2 English pea size drops
to get your strop covered.
Covered my whole strop. Literally painted the strop green, and I can hear it and feel it working. It's the only emulsion I've ever had that experience with. I've not tried all emulsions, so I'm not bad mouthing what you guys love. But this shit is good.
Well, I've got to get some emulsion because I'm out of sloppy stuff.
People text me Tuesday night telling me that they were out because the live streams were just turning into Gary promoting himself.
I don't care about that because I don't look at him as promoting himself. And
I know. I'm just telling you what people.
Yeah, they can. Dude, people come and go, and they don't. Yeah, I've learned
these aren't come and goers, but
I know. Well,
saying.
They can, bottom line is I'm gonna have who I want on, and I'm not having him on to sell shit. I'm not making any money if he does. I like his products. I like his take on stuff because a lot of times,
I like his products too, and he's actually one of my Mount Rushmore of knife makers, kind of. But I would not own one. I get that those handles are super ergonomic, but they look like a fucking turd to me.
but
I
you don't
can't
have to
stand
get them in. You don't like the shape or the material.
the shape.
Well-
It works perfectly. I don't know why there's an echo now, but it works perfectly, but it looks like shit to me. I prefer
Yeah, it's
a
all.
non-cave handle as far
Yeah,
as
I
looks.
mean, and
But I
there's
agree. If
differences.
you took my homestead and his knife of the same size, and you had to cut all day long, an 8-hour day, you were constantly cutting stuff. At the end of the day, you'd be glad you had Gary's knife. It's a better working
Hey,
handle.
baby.
I just don't like the way they look.
Oh, I can totally get that.
Yeah.
And I'm not. I mean, I do want to get some of his emulsion, and Kyle was showing me where I could get it by the 1-pack, and he told me that at one of his streams, but I didn't write it down. I've got it saved in my book in my bar. I just haven't been able to get it yet.
I think Richard sent me the link.
Yeah, it might have been Richard. I just haven't been able to pull the trigger on it yet because it's still like $30, isn't it?
Yeah, it was before I realized how broke I was going to be toward the end of the month. I shouldn't have bought it.
I need it. I mean, I've got enough now that my strops are all pretty well coated for the foreseeable future, but I'd like to have some, and I will get some.
His camera angle is odd.
He's totally a different kind of guy than I am, but that's kind of why I like him in there. I mean, I enjoy.
There's nothing wrong, dude. I enjoy him as a guest or anything because I have learned from him. I enjoy bouncing stuff off of him. Now, his personality can come across a little bit crass at times.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was a little upset, that he wanted to badmouth ProCut, but he treated it at 61. Well,
and that's why he needs. And I think, was it you that talked to him about that? He goes, "Yeah, you're right. I didn't." Yeah. I mean, I don't think he's
not going to go back and do it at 66 or 60.
No. Well, he's a different kind of knife maker.
I get that.
He's not like a Casey Lynch who's doing it all in one place. Is that better or worse? I don't know.
It made me want one of his knives less now that I know he's not making them.
Well, I mean that's part of it, but at some point along the line,
he turned it into his way of living, and that's the only way to do it. Is what he's doing.
Exactly, and he was at one point.
When a maker gets to that point, I lose interest. It was just like when me and Donnie talked about, Donnie's plan is to one day either have his knives made for him or have all the pieces made and put them together, some mix of that. And all I can think is the only reason I ever wanted a knife from you was because it's impressive that you could do what you do by hand with rudimentary tools that you have. Now, if it's made in a machine shop somewhere, it's a fucking $300 knife.
Regardless, yeah.
I don't care anymore. But I come to learn a lot of things about that dude and his way of thinking.
Well, I think
y'all don't forget, if you don't agree with him.
Thank you, Richard.
If you don't agree with him, he hates you. Don't y'all forget it.
If you agree with him, he can hate you too.
Yeah, but he's never said that.
No, but again, I'm not looking for love, and it goes back to my lives. My lives right now are I have too many. Tuesday and Friday are not going to continue to be a live thing for me because A, I don't make money on lives. Not that I'm looking to, but B, I do it because I enjoy hanging out with people.
But you've never done it right.
No, I'm not doing it for that.
I don't understand why you won't just do it right.
I'm doing it right. For me, I do it for fun.
Just go to YouTube and go live and do it vertical. And
I've done that at the shop. I've done it at the shop. I go through YouTube Studio.
Yeah, see, I'm not getting the views I used to either.
Yeah, I think they've changed something.
I was getting more views when I was doing it consistently.
Yeah, it could be something like that. And I'm not, for one, down at the shop.
And I don't get those views till about an hour in. I don't know why.
You've got to be live for a while. Yeah.
After you're live for a while, people
and see at the shop, it's hard for me to stay live because people come in and they need help, and it's just not a conducive place. What I've told them
to see you go live less. I mean, if that's what you need to do,
no, it is at some point.
Enjoys it, but
well, it's just there's only so much you can talk about when it comes to knives, and it really should be, because the ones that the content that I watch that's not knife content, there is a show aspect to a live stream where there should be something that people are expecting to gain from it, right? Not just stream of consciousness stuff. And it's not just, yes, I like communicating with the audience, but I have to have people in there to help me communicate because I can't follow it.
I get that. I think we have a mix. Like, we got into politics tonight. We got into opinions tonight. We talked about knives tonight. I don't think this bunch that's here every Sunday, or they're in, on your channel every Tuesday, I don't think they need anything. They just want a place to hang out. If they get some information out of 5 minutes worth of your 3-hour live stream, they're fine with it. But
I always feel like I'm talking about people. Money. No, I'm not talking about money. I'm just
should be.
But no, I'm talking about value for the viewer. When I talk about money, it's like I don't want people to come and feel like they've wasted 3 hours of their life.
We could sit here and read the dictionary, and these people will have conversations with each other in the chat. They're not following us 90% of the time anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot to be said about that.
I see people in live streams, and I know for a fact the only reason they're there is because Todd Carr's there, or because Mattis Faction's there. Guys talking out their ass that don't have a clue what they're talking about. They're there because their buddies are there, and they're asking how their day was and what about this knife. They're not paying any attention to who's on the screen hardly.
Absolutely,
we're not enough entertainers for that.
And I've thought about doing this is like on Tuesday nights, is throwing out the link, letting people up. I know it gets crazy when you get more than 5 or 6 people in a stream, but I can let people on.
Or 2 at a time, whatever.
Yeah, just to let it be. I know Maddie and them bring people in, but just to keep it fresh, because it is when you're doing streams, you want them to be engaging. I don't care who comes to the stream. I'm not looking at people coming versus who was here last week.
I glance over, and usually I'll put it on the screen if somebody has commented on the actual topic that we're discussing. But I would say well over 50% of the time when I look over there, they're talking to each other. I don't know if that means we're failing, but I think that they must like it. They keep coming back. But I think for the most part, they're coming here because Josh Wirtz is here, and because Bugsy's, they're coming in to see what funny thing Memo's going to post. And that's what I'm getting at, is the live streams is a collection of all of us. It's not just the people on the screen.
Well, I think what that was most apparent was early on in Panda's videos, but there was nowhere else to go. Now there's so many, which I think it's still great to have the same people that
When's the last time you heard them talk about an iPhone said faction? I mean, I'm sure they have, but I don't remember. Well,
I know that Dylan's on there a lot, and they're talking about some design. They talk about
a little more since Dylan's been on there.
Yeah.
But
and Sharif's on there. They talk about knives, but they talk more about life, and that's important. And Maddie has got and Stevie both have a great way to plug into what's happening in chat and get people that are either getting something the wrong way or getting interesting subjects out of the chat.
You missed my point, Maddie. I'm not saying y'all don't talk about them. I'm just saying I don't hear most of that. I'm there for when y'all start talking about food and hot dogs or would you rathers, or you guys are funny.
Stevie doesn't like pickles.
Yeah, y'all may not be funny to everybody, but you're certainly funny to your fan base, and that's why we're there. And I'm not telling you to stop talking about knives. I'm just saying we don't give a shit if you do or you don't. Either way, it's fine.
Yeah, y'all have but you always have. I mean, a lot of it's communication. For me, communication has always been, even though I've always been in sales, it's always not been easy. it's always been something that I feel like I have to struggle through. It doesn't seem that way. I've had people tell me that. I seem like a natural diarrhea mouth, but it's painful. So I want to have something that,
First 3 minutes before you got on here, I was already like, "What the fuck am I doing? What am I going to talk about?" I didn't have a clue.
well, and that's like when Kyle joins me or you join me, we can just talk about stuff. Same with Gary. Gary to me is not looking to lead conversations. He's just there to answer kind of questions. And I know a lot of people don't have questions for him, but I look at him as someone who has a very unique in
He is
to
he's definitely a brain worth picking. No doubt about that.
and
But
I think
all I'm saying is, and I'm not bad mouthing Gary. I don't want anybody to get me wrong on this. It's just he's never going to be as entertaining as Maddie is talking about hot dogs.
never ever. And the whole thing is I want all the lives to be different, right? I want people to come in, whether I'd like to have Gary, why can't I think of
Hey, did I tell you we figured out who Elite Turd Burglar is?
no.
It's Ed.
Is it Fed?
Ed. Not Ed Harrison. Just Ed. Just Ed.
Just Ed.
Yeah. I thought it was a big secret. I thought he was hiding it. And I said something about it, and he was like, "I'm Ed." He wasn't hiding it at all. Just nobody asked.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it, Ed.
Yeah.
Ed used to be Blue Ed, right?
Yeah.
Blue and Ed. I like it. No, I like it. I just want it to be like if I ever go into other lives, there's always a structure. And I know a lot of times it's sales based, but they're looking at knives, they're looking at stuff. And there are a lot of people there watching that stuff. And I always feel like I'm just talking about nothing,
Right.
showing a few things that I've got to show that aren't all that, it's just, I don't know. It makes you wonder if you're spending your time wisely.
Yeah.
I could be making content about nothing, but I enjoy it. I enjoy hanging with Shane. I enjoy hanging with Derek. I enjoy hanging with people in the chat.
I would love to get more people from the chat to do a guest spot every night. Like, I'd love to have Todd Carr on. I mean, who wouldn't want to see a sit down with Todd Carr or with Mimo or?
And what I try to tell people is you can be anonymous. You can be Todd Carr and never show your face.
Right.
Only show your hands. Look at what
clean was. Sure, some people it's easier to be funny when you're typing than it is when you're talking. I don't know.
Yeah, and it's a lot of work to be on screen sometimes. It's easier to be in an audience. But that's going to be something that happens. And maybe I'll just put it in the chat or have it scrolling along the bottom. And if I don't let you in right away, it's just because I think if you get more than 5 people on a screen, it's hard to keep up. Yeah. And that's probably more.
Tell you what's funny to me is like you can watch Dylan Mallory go live and you can sense it. I mean, he'll come around eventually. He'll find his place. He's super nervous. He doesn't know what to talk about. And he doesn't talk as much on Said Faction as the other guys do. But when Dylan drops bombs, he drops fucking bombs, dude. That dude is hilarious. His timing and the fact that he's not always talking. And then when he does say something, a lot of times it almost gets missed. But I love him.
His sense of humor is amazing. And I say it to you because it's true. You're one of the wisest non-appearing wise people I've ever met. I mean, you drop wisdom bombs. You don't appear as a wise man. When people see you walking down the street, they don't go, "That's a wise motherfucker."
Never let them see you coming, John.
Don't. I agree. But you drop wisdom bombs even when you're playing devil's advocate, and that's a gift. So don't feel nervous when you're on live and there's nothing to talk about. You just haven't been stimulated.
Right.
Nothing in your creativity has gotten. It happened to Kyle and I. Was it Tuesday night? Friday night. Friday night was a slow night. Metal Complex had something going. I was tired because I had to work Friday after going down and filming, and we just didn't have it in us. We went for like 2 hours and 30 minutes. Yeah. everything was kind of dead in chat. And if you're not getting anything back, you don't want to just manufacture stuff to talk about. I don't, at least.
Yeah. I never know what I'm going to talk about. I never have a plan. I talked about politics earlier, but my whole point to bringing that up, and I'm bad to do this. I'll start a conversation, go down a rabbit hole without ever really saying what it was I set out to say, and then I realize it later. And then in that fashion, I am a poor communicator. But the reason I brought all that up was because I would like to think the difference between me and these people that I get so angry at is that I don't have to agree with you to like you. You don't have to agree with me. It's okay. And I feel like that's what the community is missing now. It's something I feel like we used to have.
Tolerance.
But, right. We don't all have to agree on everything.
Shane froze.
You don't have to hate somebody for it either.
No. And hate should really be reserved for heinous fucking shit, because hate isn't supposed to exist. But for somebody's alleged, because nobody knows what people really believe unless they've said it, but their beliefs, to put them on a hate list is just wrong. It's sad, and it's what the powers that be want, unfortunately.
Fortunately for us, though, some of them have just come out and said it.
That
they just come out and said what they believe and how they feel about you if you don't feel the same way. And I appreciate that, because now I can openly hate that guy.
Yeah, I'm not going to give somebody. No, I mean, and again, there's no need to try to have debate with somebody who's not willing to, back their words up.
I think they understand that is the basis. That is the basis for racism or anything with ism at the end of it. Is that
intolerant?
If you have a feeling about something and you hate anybody who disagrees, and you treat them poorly because they disagree, that's the root of racism. It's the root of Islamophobia, homophobia, all of it.
It's everything that makes all men not created equal, where all men are created equal with their beliefs, and you don't have to agree with them. But
those are the same people calling everybody else fascist and racist, and hate's hate, dude. No matter what label.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be labeled. You're right.
You can point it in any direction at any particular person. It's all hate.
And I'll tell you, it's a fucking lazy emotion.
Well, I think it comes from fear. I think those people are so scared of society and functioning within it that they've decided to just step aside from it, and that's all they have left is hate.
But there's got to be at least
none of these people. I'm thinking of a handful of people right now, and none of them. Not only do they not benefit society, they're not enjoying it either. They're not enjoying the beauty that's out there. Yeah, they're not enjoying the love that's available and the beauty that's available and all that stuff. Maybe they don't see a pregnant belly and think it's the most beautiful thing they've ever seen.
Or walk outside on a day like today and know that it's just different feeling because it's turning warm a little bit for a day.
Yeah, I don't think those people know the feeling of doing something nice for somebody and how it blesses your life and your mental health. Even if you don't tell anybody about it.
Good point, Dopey. I think it's just, yeah. And it's so weird what you can and can't get by with saying. And I don't know how much of that's true or how much of that is old news, but you can't risk it. You just can't risk saying stupid stuff that the powers that be think is stupid or shameful. And they'll come back now and with AI and look for, all of us should make our lives private or members only afterwards. I don't. I just leave them out there for AI, next week's AI to go through and find something wrong with them.
I saw a guy, interview with a dude here a while back, and he put all this kind of in layman's terms, but I thought it was a pretty good. I thought it was a pretty good example he had. It was like, and he was talking about if you and your neighbor were on completely different sides of the street as far as politics go, and he came over and knocked on your door and asked you if you would give him a ride to the voting booth, with you knowing he's voting against what you're voting for, would you give him a ride, and would he do the same for you? Because why wouldn't you? Why would you let something like that stop you from being a
Being
good
neighbor, a good neighbor. You
That's the
wouldn't.
problem is that has hindered us from being good people. Unfortunately.
Well, you see it with sign rage in yards.
Yeah.
You know, there's just so much, and I can't help but think there's a greater power making us feel so intimately, or not intimately, so emotionally about each side that's affects some people more than others.
Right.
Because for me, I don't. You can feed it down my throat, and I'm not seeing any different than judge people based on what they are, regardless of who they fucking vote for. My mom used to joke, and they're not married anymore, but that she'd always cancel out my dad's vote, and he'd laugh about it.
Yeah. I don't think two people could be married anymore. Well, maybe they could if they ignored social media and all that stuff. Maybe that could still be the case.
I think there are very few that do that, and I think the algorithms are what get us perpetuating thoughts.
That had to be one desperate vote. Like, I'd have to look into mail-in ballots before I ask you.
or pigeon. Slide this in there.
Yeah. Unfortunately, though, we can talk about it and bring attention to it all day long, but I don't
We
think
ain't gonna change it, man. There's so much.
it's only going to get worse.
And what's sad is we can bring people together that want to talk about it, and unfortunately, we might have the power to get in the streets and talk about it, but it's never going to be the way it was.
And I fully support your right to get in the streets and talk about it. I do not support your right to hit somebody for disagreeing with you, though, or spitting on them, or for that fact, even being hateful to them, screaming at them, whatever.
No, civil disobedience and civil discourse is what it's about.
Yeah.
Be civil. Be neighborly.
I was tickled to death to see the people of Iran, marching on their capital, wanting change. And the only way we get change here is the same way. You can't just sit around and think about it. You have to be vocal about it, and it takes a bunch of people being vocal about the same things. That's how women got their voting rights.
And what I'm afraid the younger generation loses
people with bicycle locks, though,
is the younger generation thinks they can do so much through social media, and they don't realize what a bot fucking network can do that's put together by a state-run agency that can nullify all the fucking momentum that they've got going.
The most dangerous tool that governments have ever been handed, and it will only get worse.
That's a fact, Jack.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Like I said, I am super sleepy. I'm starting to lose my voice.
Break out of here, brother.
I'm going to hit the sack.
Guys, I love you dudes. I appreciate all of you.
You're right, Kathleen. I have no idea. It's a very good point. Y'all read that last comment. That being said, I appreciate the amount of time y'all spend with me. John, I appreciate you keeping me company.
That's a fact. Shane, always, brother. Your package is going out tomorrow. I'm going to go put it in the box here in about, what time is it? In about 2 hours.
All right, buddy.
I love you, dude. Love you guys. Peace.